5. That pretty much sums it up. Okay, so thank you for coming. We're a little bit late today. I had to shit.
And we had some difficulties.
We did have some difficulties. Randy's face was all weird.
The sound was weird.
Also, the camera.
Why aren't we late every week then?
Yay!
Original joke.
Hey, watch
out!
Watch out for us. We got comedy. So, resident comedian, professional comedian Alex over here. Woo!
Woo!
And then we also have Randy, whose face is a little bit less close to the camera, but we had difficulties, so I had to bail out of editing his camera. So every week he's going to progressively get like a few inches further away, and then eventually he'll be properly framed. Like for me, I come down here a lot. I shouldn't be cut off. We don't have a producer, though. I'm the producer. Not a good one. Don't hire me for that. Also, we have Sarah over there, just dyed her hair, looking fantastic.
Thanks.
Gross.
And then Hugo, who has stuck to the glasses.
The glasses are
do you
commitment.
know what? It's become part of it, and if you don't wear them, I'm going to be upset.
Well,
My earring is upstairs.
all
so.
right. I've committed to dumber things. Fair enough.
Everyone, by the way, like last week, people started to be like, wow, those glasses are great. So, even though you probably see like pink immediately after you flip it up
I'm
or
not
blue
gonna
or
lie.
something.
I don't know if the headaches are coming from the hue or if they're too tight on my head. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll go blind. That's a fun quirk.
A fun
Our blind friend.
Hugo!
Yeah.
No. Hugo and Jake, the blind years.
Yeah, okay.
There you
If
go.
we're in box sets,
That implies that like there will be an after the blind years.
Yeah.
Where he's
After
no
the
longer
blind
blind.
years are the seeing years. He just takes the glasses off. Anyway.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
5. Yeah. So, is there anything to announce? I don't think so. I think we're good. We don't have a lot of things going on.
Same as usual.
None of you want to sponsor the show, which is fine. I was up way too late last night. Watched this session suck.
What a good... Well,
Wow.
that was a 5. Okay. Fair enough.
Should be fun. Anyway,
Yep.
So, last we left off, the party had made a shockingly good attempt at
It's pretty good.
breaking out one prisoner on purpose, a second prisoner on accident, and then not dying, and also kind of dying. One of you at least.
Yeah. Some of them.
Got better.
Yeah. And unsurprisingly, Randy didn't want to be resurrected. You found yourselves after several very tense moments, including the professor's drug use leading to self-destructive tendencies, and Evelios being kind of self-sacrificial at times, running from explosions, finally settling in the dust, and wandering around the cave system underneath the nest. Why can't I find the goddamn ambient music is the question. Let me just do this. Let me do this. How do you like boom? This one.
If you want to be a producer, we can feed you in Hot Pockets, and you can live in our basement.
We need to come up with a name for you, too.
A name?
Yeah, like, Alex.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
So if you want to be a producer, you can. So you are walking around in this blue crystal-lined cave system that the Aarakocrans have seemed to have dug out underneath the capital of the entire nest. After wandering for a little bit of time, you have Evelios pull you in one direction. He can't really explain it, but you trust his judgment and follow him. Comes to a wall where he's feeling a vibration and a name, Mistral, run through his head over and over. After some digging and some clever, very simple riddle solving by Alenia and friends a little bit, you discover a small chamber made entirely out of blue crystal, containing the item Ivelios believes is calling to him, Mistral. And you'd walked out holding that, and that's basically where we left off. So, you were back in the mine area, underneath the nest, a place you've never been. And what would you like to do?
We have to try to find our way to the safe house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Kasdan, I'll ask him this, Kasdan, do you know what direction we're going? Is there,
Direction?
even like a
Oh,
basic cardinal direction that we could,
Caston sort of rubs his face. He's toying with trying to make sure that he had, taking stock of how many knives he has, because he's thrown several and lost them, and retightening his armor and stuff. And he sort of, I don't know what direction we're ever going, but there can only be so many exits from this, right?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the next safe house?
The safe house?
Yeah.
I know it's in the city, and
It's definitely on this island, though, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And, well, it should be at the end of the caves, somewhere nearby. We'll probably have to sneak to it a little bit, but it can't be far. They wouldn't put the safe house across the city
Sure.
from one of the exits. We just have to make sure we get the right one. I don't know how many there are, to be fair, but we blew up one of them.
Yeah.
Narrows it down a little.
So
That's good.
the numbers
positive
have
thinking.
plummeted. We could have closed 100% of the exits. That's good news.
I don't know if that's great news. That's...
Hopefully 50. At least.
I miss being on the drugs.
I don't miss you being on the drugs. By the way, our bit thing isn't on. The mug's not.
The mug's not on. Do you guys want me to turn the mug on? I'll turn the mug on. I can look at the mug real quick. I could do that.
The mug and the
I don't know
activity
why it
thing.
wouldn't be on. Why wouldn't the mug be on? Chat loves the mug. And the mug loves chat. I really don't know why I wouldn't. It says... No, I can't do it right now. I'll do it later. So...
Rip.
Well, the, I don't know. The element just doesn't want to do things. So... you will have to support the stream without recognition this time. I'm sorry, but know that in my heart I appreciate you. So, you kind of walk back the way you came, which it wasn't far from the place you found Mistral. And there was a kind of a you could take the right where you came from. You can go back to where there's just stones now. And then there was sort of a left and then a fork.
Wait, what if we try to find... If there's an exit, there's got to be, like, airflow or something, right? Unless it's blocked off.
Everyone looks around and says that sounds right. No one knows really anything about...
Well, we went.
How about, you're proficient in history. You can go ahead and roll a history check. To see...
Not bad. 19.
You have absolutely heard of this in works of fiction.
Okay.
You've never read a documenting mining thing, so
Well,
this is too intense. That's too
there's
intense.
only one other way for us to go, right? We came from the one.
Well, no, there's like a fork.
Yeah, but we came from the one way to turn down to this way. So we just go to the one that we didn't turn down.
which way... Well, there's a fork, though. Are we going to go right or are we going to go left? I presume it's a right or
Well,
left.
we turned right to get to where we were going.
So
No,
but the
he's
other,
saying there's
the
another
other
fork.
way has a fork.
yeah, so let's just say, for all intents and purposes, everything behind you you've already been to.
Yeah.
And then in front of you have a
Oh,
left
okay.
and a right. But I can describe this to you.
So do we take the left or the right?
So as you walk, let's just say, as you walk back, to put those two options that you know are exhausted, unless you'd like to try them for something else.
Isn't there like a thing about mazes? Like you only ever take
Well,
left turns?
With maze is what you do. You
Icilius-
put your hand on the right wall, and then you follow it the whole way. But this is a cave, not necessarily a
I know, but I
maze.
mean, like, if we keep following one wall,
You can't.
Unless it has any closed circuits, and you just wind up going in a circle.
exactly. So if we end up in a circle,
Really, the white wall is just like a pillar.
Yeah, whatever. You know, same idea.
yeah. But I mean, as long as we keep to one wall, I think we won't get lost if there are more branches later on. You know?
If that's how we're gonna do it.
Okay. Well, as you walk around in here, since it's closed off now, and you kind of walked away and walked back and had time for it to settle, the air inside here is pretty stale, and like the taste of like dusty minerals sits at the back of your mouth. It's also very cool but very dry. And anywhere that there's those soft, or those little blue crystals in the walls, they also give off a dim light. So you do have two options. As you walk, the cavern opens up into a larger area, which basically there's an alcove all the way to the left, a little bit. That doesn't seem to have anything in it. It just seems like maybe they dug a little bit and pulled back. And then up above that, a little bit further on, is what looks to be a pathway to the left, and then a pathway to the right.
Okay. Which one do we want to try, left or right?
Something's telling me left for some reason. We could flip a coin. Or we could vote.
We could vote. I don't think it's that severe.
I mean,
Just go left.
We can vote if you'd like.
I'm fine with
Here
left.
for some democracy. I'm trying to take down an empire, so
Left is fine.
are you
that's
all
what
just,
I like to hear, possible emperor.
Are you all just deferring to me now?
No, but it's just
In this
in
particular
this
case,
particular
there's-
situation, sure. I mean, it's 50-50.
Is she in charge?
No. We're
Oh,
all
you
in
answered
charge.
that fast.
We are all in charge.
Okay,
Alright, left it is.
except for Handy over here,
What?
who never has an opinion.
I said left.
That doesn't count. They said left.
He does have
Shoot
opinions.
him too.
He has opinions about wanting to die, apparently.
He has opinions on... Oh, never mind.
His opinions on abortion.
Yeah, it's gonna...
Opinions on fetuses.
Fetus Slayer.
God damn it.
The mighty fetus slayer. That is good. Okay.
Fetuses have a CR of 0, so. So you go left under the wise command of Elenia. Who's going first? Is there anyone specifically in the lead?
I'll take the lead.
I'll hang back and watch our
All the way back?
back. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in the front, and you have dark vision now, so that's good. Because there's not many lights in here, but you can see decently.
I'll put light on my spear at the end so that Icilius isn't in the dark. Oh wait, no, you have the
no,
goggles.
don't
don't you?
do spells. Don't do spells.
Oh yeah. No, we can't do that, right? Not
Stop
even
her.
cantrips.
Yes. I stop
go to
her
do
from
it.
doing
Because
this.
she said out loud, I'll put light on so you're not in the dark. No spells at all. Distraction is indeed over.
Jesus Christ, this is gonna be difficult.
Can I jump in on that
been a
that
while.
immediate no reaction that he had? Woo!
In defense, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Oh god. Okay.
All right, everybody gets one.
Fair.
Yeah, I forgot about the no magic thing.
Just a red light comes up in the middle of the island. Someone in
They
the
won't
middle
know
of the
where it
island?
is. Maybe they won't know where it is because we're like in cave.
Just start. We'll find an exit real quick that way, I bet. Because
Yeah,
they'll
let's
be
not try
blowing one through the fucking roof. Anyway.
Anyway, no, you have goggles though, don't you? Night vision?
Yeah. I
Okay.
gave him-
Yeah, I'm good.
So we don't have anybody who's in the dark.
No, we're all
Here.
Seago.
He was good.
Okay.
Evelios, you walk in and the corridor kind of tightens and then opens back up, almost like an impromptu room. And in here, there's several mining tools, including pickaxes, shovels, and some kind of it's like a yellow cylinder, and at the end it has a drill bit. And then there's handles on the left, right, and the back. And then on the top of it, mounted, there's a larger blue crystal, probably a drill for mining at least small areas.
This would have been helpful.
Yeah, you don't know how to use it, but
Yeah, it would have been. Well,
It's
even
huge,
the pickaxes
too.
would have been helpful.
Why would that have been helpful?
when we were breaking
When we were breaking that wall,
Mistral
I wouldn't have had that fucking
chamber.
Oh yeah, we
Mine
had to
with my-
dig that out.
Yeah.
Oh well, you did it.
Just
It wasn't that. It wasn't that hard.
it just would have been helpful, like regardless of if we did it or not.
He thinks back and he looks down at his katana. It's the pommel of which is still a little like scratched up as he sort of sighs. And that's pretty much it for this. It goes on for a little bit, but
Dead end, basically. Should have went right.
Well, you guys all listened to me and said, let's go left. So...
Democracy is trash.
okay, so you continue on. You take a right, and the path winds and continues on for a little while. It seems like there is kind of a lot of those tiny blue crystals, and whoever was in charge of mining here was riding a luck streak or something. So it goes on for quite some time. And as you travel, sort of walking Evelios in front and Millennium bringing up the rear, Kazan sort of walks up to your speed as you're sort of spreading out at this time. And he sort of, looks around. You guys are not alone, but not occupied. And he's just walking. It's quiet for a minute. He doesn't really engage. He sort of. So, I feel kind of like an idiot.
Is there a particular reason, or is this a general idiocy problem that
Oh.
you're feeling?
Oh. Well. So when we were, on the plane and stuff, and do you realize what you look like?
It's fairly recent, but I'm led to believe purple and with horns.
Do you just stare in a mirror or what?
What?
I would.
Oh God.
That was a compliment.
Yeah,
Icilius and Evelios, you definitely hear all of
Okay.
that.
Alenia's going.
fucking dying.
Anyway.
This is going really well for you, by the way.
Thank you.
This conversation going as well as you
I'm
thought
not
it would?
usually like this.
Kasdan! Shout from the back.
Hold
door.
on.
Oh,
I
God.
think the,
I the second do I hear her
think
say
the
that?
leader needs help.
I give her a look. I look back, and I give her eyes like, don't exacerbate.
Okay. Kasdan sort of slows his pace to fall back toward that, and Professor kind of looks forward.
Maybe not so strong. You're coming on a little bit thick. He doesn't do well.
He speeds up. Catches back up to Professor. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Glad you are with us. I feel safer. And then he falls back.
Maybe that was a little too general.
He speeds back up. and oh, and I forgot that you're dressed well. You have good dress sense.
Thank you.
I love it's a good coat.
It is a good coat. Thank you. I took a lot of time to pick it out. New body, I figured new coat. Yeah.
As you do.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
And then he sort of speed walks ahead of you.
After all of that, I actually wanted to talk to Isilius.
Plenty of time to talk to Isilius.
Hey,
I almost want to pity fuck the bird if I'm being, or the elf. He's an elf.
I need this to happen. Anyway.
Why am I cryptid this all of a sudden?
I know that you told me to just let you go next time, but the more I think about it, didn't Julia make you promise to stay alive?
Yeah, but I'm not immortal. It's gonna happen eventually.
I know, but I don't think
I'm not trying to get myself killed, but if it happens, it happens.
I don't think she'd want you to die like that, though.
We don't always have a choice.
We also don't even know if your soul is capable of going to meet her yet.
It felt like it, but maybe you're right.
What do you mean it felt like it?
When I died, I saw her. We were together.
I wish I could insight check a dream or a
You
vision.
can try to insight check him.
Because I know he believes it,
Right.
but something.
Well, you can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You
I
can
can't.
ask him to describe the dream.
I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling, even if that seems like it was a good thing, I would be cautious about being eager to go back to her. It might not have even been her.
It seemed like her. It was exactly as I remember her.
I don't know what Dream Eaters can do, but, you know, whenever I was attacked, I saw all kinds of stuff messing with my head, so I don't know if they can manipulate your memories. So.
I don't know. But I'm not planning on putting a bullet in my head anytime soon, so
Please don't do that ever.
no promises.
That's
Just
the
gonna
best reaction ever. You go.
Fall back!
Him and Avelio should start a band. Life is pain!
What would it be called?
Oh, God.
It would be called Johnny Cash is Hurt.
Simple Plan.
That's already.
How could this happen to me?
Anyway, are you guys good?
Yeah.
All right. As your conversations come to a close, specifically you two at the back, you round the corner to see the rest of the group who you kind of absent-mindedly let get not super far ahead of you, but ahead of you enough to you lost sight of them for just a second as you sort of round the corner. And it seems as you catch up to them and they all stand still in front of you, that you've come to some sort of collapse in the tunnel. It seems there's, and you kind of all discuss this, it's not very hard to see between any of you. There seems to be structural beams in a much thinner corridor that have collapsed and fallen, and the other side of the tunnel is visible. So it's maybe like a 15-foot distance, but from right here, it's not really that accessible.
Is it movable at all?
Do you think it is? It's just gonna take a lot of effort.
Well, I can try to start clearing this.
I really wish magic wasn't a fucking issue. That'd be nice, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Could go back and get some of those mining tools if we need them.
I could try and figure out how that big drill works if that would help, but I don't even know if that would fit.
I'm gonna start trying to manually clear.
The drill is probably this wide.
Oh, okay.
And looks to be held by two people on the left and right to stabilize it, and then the person in the back throttles it.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I'm gonna start trying to manually clear out some rubble.
Okay.
Or beams.
You just want to start pulling stuff out?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Hey. Athletics, 19.
19. You do so, and you grab some stuff. It's pretty loose near the bottom, and then there's some bigger pieces. It looks like a large piece of stone above that is separate from like the soil, and so over time, as it's been exposed, it sort of gets pulled down. And so there's a large stone up there that you can see is pressing down on some structural beams that basically they were like this and they buckled inward and then hit the walls. So the stone is like recessed a little bit. And as you do so, as you remove rubble and stuff, it moves down just a little bit. There's space at the bottom if you guys want to crawl through.
Can I try?
You've gotten enough of the stuff out of the front.
Can I try to take that space and like wedge something to push it up enough, where we have more crawl space? Just like either like a rock that might fit that won't block the whole passageway,
Like a
or
6 foot tall rock.
a 6 foot tall
I
rock.
don't know. It wouldn't have. It'd have to get to the ceiling.
No. I wouldn't want to push. I mean, just enough to push it up so we have comfortable crawl space through there.
Well, if you put anything there to reinforce that, you would run out of crawl space to do the thing. So it's basically you got probably 3 feet It's not clear the whole way. Like, you can see easily it's not clear the whole way. But there seems to be enough room to get in, at least.
Do we want to just try to crawl?
There's a humongous rock above you, though.
Yeah.
It seems to be, like, tons and tons.
Try not to... Let's not nudge anything as we do so we don't get smushed.
I'm the self-sacrificial one. No.
Let me get
It's not-
smushed.
It's not a sacrifice to get squashed by a rock. That's
I
just...
don't want to crawl through that.
You look back and you have Ziwi and Siko, who are... You guys haven't rested or anything. They're still feeling pretty shitty today. You've been down here for a couple hours at this point.
We should probably take a long rest at some point.
I don't have any food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't make anything
Yeah, I know.
magic.
I can't do like a protection
What about the jar?
dome or anything.
Would the jar count?
It's a magical item.
It's a magical item. I wouldn't try it.
Shit. I might just have to go a day without eating.
That sucks.
We wouldn't have any rations in our packs, you have the case, which has all of our stuff.
I mean, it's whatever we all emptied into it.
We didn't bring rations.
We probably didn't, because we never
You guys
used
haven't
them.
had rations in quite some
No.
time
Yeah.
because of the Hartnell.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
never think about it because we never
Fuck.
need it.
We're just gonna have to go hungry for a bit.
That sucks, but yeah.
We could try and find some
Yeah,
bugs.
you took one short rest.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know about eating bugs, but
Bugs?
Yeah.
There's not
Like
life
spiders
down
and
here.
stuff. I don't know.
Go and roll a nature check.
also you need
Shot
so
and
many to feel full.
Oh, that's a lot. That's just 19.
19. You haven't seen any bugs down here whatsoever, but people do come down here enough to where maybe you can find, like, you're sure people take lunch down here
Yeah.
when they work or something, but this part of it seems to have been closed off for some time because probably of this collapse. So on the other side, you imagine that there's more going on because it looked pretty undisturbed,
Yeah, we need to get to the other side.
and that's probably why it's probably why there's a path on this side and it continues on the other.
I guess we just hope no one gets crushed.
That's
I
a
think
good
we
general
should probably
hope.
try to. Why don't we go back for that drill?
That's what I suggested.
Well, the more
And then
if
you
we
guys are
fuck
like,
with
"Let's
this
just
more
crawl through
though,
it."
looking at this, if we like move more stuff, is the implication looking at it that it might shift more so and block off the entire thing?
You don't know how large the stone is.
Sure.
Like, you don't know how far it goes up, but it's either massive enough, like dense enough, to be extremely heavy and not be much taller, or it is much taller.
We could also try to drill a pathway around. Might take some time.
we don't have
but-
time to. That would take.
Yeah, it's not
Forever
it's not
to
a
drill
quick.
a-
Were there any other passages that we didn't?
We
go
just
down?
have
No.
to.
This is it.
We just have to
Well,
go
no,
under it.
there was, but you blew it up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Just no one. Just don't. It's like.
I would assume I could probably crawl through pretty easily.
You're pretty small.
Yeah. It's like Operation Don't
Ziwi
Touch the
would be
Sides.
the easiest.
You want Ziwi to go?
Because Ziwi's the tiniest out of all of
Oh,
us.
send the one that can't
Ziwi's
fight
the
and
tiniest.
fend for themselves.
He repeats.
Ziwi, do you think you could crawl in there? Are you feeling okay?
Ziwi's the tiniest.
I think he agrees.
Why would we send Ziwi first?
I mean,
Ziwi's the
That's
tiniest.
the dumbest idea.
he could just see.
Oh,
How-
what if
how
something-
clear
what
the
if there's
path is?
something on the other side?
Do you really think that something's down there that would, like, hurt him? There's no signs of life
you?
down here.
See the other side?
Do you want me to try to divine sense to
Why
make
don't
sure
I
there's
just go
not
No,
a...
don't magic.
No.
Why don't I just go first? I'm small enough.
We all have to wind up
I'm
on that
small
side.
enough.
Ziwi seems to want to go.
All right, we can flip a coin
I'm not
now.
gonna put a
if we
bullet
want.
in my head.
I forget we have a little tape recorder with us everywhere now.
Oh god. It doesn't matter. Just one of you go under the rock.
Do any of us have like a dagger or something we can give to Ziwi just in case? Since you're so worried.
I have the moon dagger
it
he can
wrong?
borrow.
Yeah,
be
give him the
worried?
moon dagger.
You could do that. Kazan also covered in knives.
True.
So.
Kazan has
Yeah,
a million
Caston,
of them.
give him a knife.
Okay.
This is
Hands him a knife.
this is a special knife.
He looks at it. He goes, "All right." Then he hands Ziwi a knife.
Alright, Ziwi, just crawl down there and see how clear it is further on.
He sort of holds the knife and tosses it up and catches it. Runs it through his fingers and runs it back.
What?
He kind of motions to you
Mm-hmm.
and is like, I mean, if you want to go.
Oh God.
And he walks over.
Fuck's sake, I'll go.
No, they're going!
No, Z was going.
He's
I
going.
motioned him to go.
He walks over, gets low, which is real low. He's only about 3 feet tall. Sort of looks around. And he starts going forward. And you see him crawl under. And he pops his little butt through. And then you hear.
Ziwi?
Seaweed.
Oh God. Oh God.
As this wood starts to creak.
Oh no.
Ziwi, Ziwi, come back.
Ziwi, come back, and he gets out of there, and then you hear as this really starts to struggle.
Fuck.
He did not roll well.
We should just let it collapse and then try to drill through.
Oh God.
Or drill around.
We cannot
Can't
drill
drill
around. It
around.
would take, like, do you know how long it
Okay,
takes to
what
drill
other
a
plan
hole?
do you have?
To
Walk
drill-
through the rocks?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like,
Like, what is your grand
Like-
idea here?
well, I just want to point out, us drilling, like, a Wile E. Coyote or whatever the fantasy analogous version I would be saying, we're not drilling a tunnel, like, through the solid, you know, rock of this island big enough for us to get through in the time...
You do have that spoon.
No, I don't.
No!
Oh fuck, you don't.
He
have that
doesn't.
spoon.
Also, we have no food or water, so time is, like, of the essence, and digging a tunnel, especially one that requires a machine that 4 people, like, carry, is gonna be taxing, physically, make you thirsty. We have no water. I'm just saying, we need to consider these things before we start doing them and get into, like, a sunk cost situation.
If we're basically accepting that this is going to collapse, I do have explosives.
That's one way to clear a tunnel.
I do like that.
There's also, we could take all of our stuff out of the briefcase.
We're
and
not
then use
using the we're not
briefcase
using the
bomb.
briefcase. There's
Ah.
so many better things to kill or blow up with it
Okay,
than
but
rock.
imagine just sucking all that rock out
How
of
much-
here
how
to the
far is the- how
like
far
the
is
rubble
the
won't
tunnel?
even be left over. It
15
literally will get sucked into another dimension.
How are we gonna carry all the stuff in our all our?
We just carry it like we always have carried things, like
we're gonna carry.
in our personal selves.
We can't. We don't have our haversacks.
No, we
Carry
don't
all the
have
gold
like
that we have.
things to carry them. That's the entire
Shit.
reason we have a thing to put them in.
We should have just left all our money on the fucking Hartnell.
Probably. I don't think we're gonna use it while we're here. That's actually a good point. I
Or
didn't
just
consider.
blow the fucking rock so we can get out of here.
Are we concerned at all about the noise that
No.
will produce?
We are in the middle of a fucking mine.
We are in the middle of a fucking mine.
Fair enough. Okay, we can try and blow it up. That sounds good.
Alrighty.
Seiko sits
Should all
there.
probably stand back now.
Yeah, let's walk quite a ways back, because that'll travel.
Seiko looks to you guys and is like, do you want me to go back and grab some mining equipment?
Yeah, probably.
I'll go with him.
You go
Grab it,
with?
Yeah.
Alright, it'll take about 20 minutes based on your past. I mean, just walking. You could run, of course, but...
Right.
Okay. It'll take you a little bit to... Are you just using... What do you have for explosive? Dynamite, or are you using the hand mortar?
I've got the hand mortar and one grenade that I've built.
Okay. Alright. So how would you like to... Are you just planning on shooting grenades into that?
Or can you just, like,
Wait.
take the grenades and pile them up into a pile and then ignite them?
Grenade pile.
Ignite a grenade.
You know what I mean? Like, somehow set off the
Strategically
grenades.
placing
You can
them.
set the things over there and then shoot one into it.
Yeah.
Well,
We get the idea. We
when I
played video
think of
games.
someone saying ignite something, I think of them like actually igniting
Like
it.
You know I know that
Yeah.
grenades don't work like that, you son of a bitch.
They did in ancient Arabia.
Just-
Is that even true? I don't.
Yeah, they had little wicks on them and they threw
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
Okay.
Little pots.
Isn't that just basically like dynamite then? Like an explosive?
Dynamite's
Kind
different
of. It was more like
explosive.
napalm, probably. Anyway,
Dynamite's different explosive.
you're a different explosive. So, yeah, dynamite, Nobel Prize.
It's like a Molotov cocktail, but like
Alfred
ancient.
Nobel. TNT. Anyway.
Well, that's more fire than explosive.
Incendiary
Can we
grenades
blow these
exist.
rocks?
I don't know.
Well, you and Seiko are headed back to get some mining equipment.
Yeah.
Did you want to do anything while you're talking?
You two geniuses come up with something.
I thought we were gonna make it explode.
That was
Yes,
a little
stand back.
passive aggressive, and I kind of am here for it. So, yes, geniuses, show us.
Is
Me
everyone
and
back at
Kaz
safe
just-
distance?
Kasdan's very excited to see whatever happens here.
He just wants to see him do something.
We good? We clear?
Yeah?
You're just gonna shoot grenades into it. Explain to me how you'd like to do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna start just by shooting one of the fire grenades from the hand mortar at it.
Oh god.
Just right into the tunnel. I respect it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack like normal.
Oh shit, that one.
It's like a 22 on a DC 10 dex check.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you launch the grenade in, and it... And, I need everybody in that first room to make me a, Constitution save.
Con save.
oh yikes.
Hey, real good.
19.
22.
Alright. Luckily, Seiko's not there, and Ziwi is at full health.
Draft kills everyone.
Yeah, there's a very quick change in pressure and a ridiculous cacophonous sound, causing 15 damage
Oh my god.
to everyone in the vicinity.
Even if you rolled
Well, what'd you get?
22.
No. So anyone under 12.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Over if you succeed that, you take half.
So how much?
7.
7.
Yeah. It's a lot. Usually they set charges and walk deep back into the tunnel and let them blow up to avoid the pressure changes and possible shrapnel and all that.
We should probably do that and walk away further.
we're learning things. That's why I started with one grenade.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You and Seiko hear that. And Seiko sort of goes, what are the odds that was the professor?
Probably pretty high.
Alright. have anything to bet with, but
No. I wonder if we're just getting this stuff, and it's not even going to matter when we get back.
well,
That's fine.
they keep blowing stuff up. We're gonna have to dig somewhere.
That's true.
Okay, would you like to shoot another grenade?
What's it look like?
I'm gonna back way the
Very
fuck out.
dusty, and those beams that were supporting the large stone are no longer there, really. There's pieces of wood all over, and there's small stubs. But yeah, that fell all the way down, and it definitely blocks the path.
Fuck. Okay.
Okay.
Let's.
I'm gonna gesture to Elle to put her shield up, and then
I'm
pop
gonna-
another one at the rocks.
I'm gonna back up even further. Do you want me to block you?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Everyone else get way further back. I'll stand in front of Icilius, and
Okay. All right.
you can shoot over the shield and then duck.
This is a terrible idea. We just. Okay.
Okay, that'll mitigate a little bit of damage. Okay, so everybody else backs up.
Fine,
Yeah.
I can take it.
Well, Kazdan and Ziwi are the only other two. Well,
Yeah.
and you, I guess.
Back way out. I mean, like,
Yeah, you back around the corner and you think you're safe.
Okay.
you think you're safe.
You think you're safe. Would you like to double check you're safe?
Sure.
You're safe.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll me another attack.
Oof, that one is an 8. So I am 10 feet off in whatever direction you use a 3 for.
Oh no.
That'd be right. So you blast into the side of the cavern. As you sort of go over top, and she sets the shield down, and she goes, "Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3," and then you shoot. But she meant shoot, and the shield isn't down yet. And you take 10 points of damage if you make a Constitution save. And nothing has progressed.
I take 5.
Professor, you peek your head around the corner after the dust seems to settle as a happens, and to the right of the hole where you guys were going to go in, there's clear evidence of someone shooting a grenade at it and it exploding. And you.
Hey, you wanna actually hit the blockage next time, or?
I deserve that. Yeah.
As this
We'll try
occurs, you and Seiko finally reach the end there. Alex, you piece of shit.
Why are you?
You guys are giving shit. I'm following his rules. Don't even
You
bring
still
it up.
listen.
Anyway, you get back to the point where there's the mining gear. What do you want to grab, or do you want to look or anything?
Pickaxes, shovels. I'm assuming we can't carry the drill.
Nope. The
Yeah.
drill is huge. But next to the drill on the ground in like a box, Seiko finds with just enough. There are in a case there are tiny discs linked together by pieces of what looks like silver thread.
Sure, we'll take it.
Okay.
We'll take everything that's not the drill that we can carry.
Okay. So you can probably get about go and roll an athletics check.
9.
You rolled an 8. So you can get a pickaxe and a shovel each along with that case.
Okay.
So, not terrible, but... And you head back. Anything you want to do while they head back?
What's the passage look? Oh no, he didn't
It didn't
even
do
hit it
anything.
the second time. It looks the same as the first
The
time.
passage looks the same. It's definitely covered by a rock. You don't know what kind of rock, but
How
you
many
haven't really
more?
inspected anything closely. So.
How many more explosives do you have on you?
I have 8 fire, and then 2 that deal cold damage, assuming the percussive force would still be enough to clear rocks.
Oh god. The blockage. Can we see how deep it is?
Well, it was 15 feet. Now it's 3 or 4 feet with the rock above. Probably.
3 or 4 feet.
Yeah, now you could see all the way across it before. It was about 15 feet of this collapsed tunnel, and on the other side was pretty clear, it seemed. Now, about 3 or 4 feet in, there's just a large boulder.
Okay.
So we've cleared some.
Yes.
We cleared some, and then another
But there's
thing
a
dropped
giant
on top
rock.
of it.
You
Yeah.
cleared it and then covered it with a giant rock. The
Yeah.
rock probably that caused this collapse in the first place. It's certainly large.
Do we want to hit it again, or do we want to wait for them to come back?
Let's wait for them to come back.
That was a little
When are we
disappointing.
gonna mine to the large rock?
What?
That would take a while.
I don't think we can blow it up. Do your explosives have the force to even clear that rock?
I don't know, we can find out.
He just wants to blow something up.
Is there a way you could take all of your explosives and then just have them all go off at one time?
I just want to point out, one, he has 8 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
1, we had to get far enough back that it didn't,
Yeah.
the pressure didn't make our eardrums explode and,
Mm-hmm.
make us sad and deaf. If he just sets them all off at once, add them up. I don't even think
Is there a way we
I
could-
don't think he could stand far enough away from that explosion
Could we
not.
find a way to remote detonate that in some way?
That's a good question.
Can you guys tinker a thing that you press a button and it does something?
It might make it worse, in fairness.
Press the button and it does something. Thanks.
You guys are supposed to be the inventors!
I'm not saying. Could we conceivably come up with a way to safely set off
There's gotta
10
be
grenades?
something in their bag!
You and Sika walk forward and start hearing them talking about detonating 10 grenades at once.
Can we fucking not do that? Do you know what 10...
That's what I'm saying! 10 grenades! I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
we're
Crunch the
doing such
numbers
a
yet, no.
small...
We say the one hurt a lot. That's what I'm saying.
It didn't hurt that much.
Anyways,
Hurt
I
me a
got
lot.
a shovel and a pickaxe.
Stop being such a baby.
Ears bleeding from fucking.
I double quickly say no to that question earlier.
No.
No! We each gotta have a pickaxe, we each have a shovel, and I got this little
Are you
box.
gonna mine straight through the solid rock?
Will you let me finish speaking?
I think a new strategy for battles
Go
is
on.
we should just start arguing in front of the bad guys and they'll fucking kill
They'll just-
themselves.
Like, fuck this and jump off. Like, that's it. Anyways, I found this chest with some stuff in it. Look at that, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Alright, I take
You
it.
open it up.
It was glowing discs attached to a string of some
Not
sort.
glowing, they're like little metallic discs attached, and as you pick it up and look at it, it seems like these are used to crack ferrous material. They're blasting caps.
They're explosive. Okay.
When they're attached on a daisy chain, and as you sort of look through, they come in 6s, so it's like a 6-foot thing with every foot segment being, so I guess 7 blasting caps. And then in the center of them, they have a on the center disc, they have a kind of a splicing wire, and it seems like there's extra wire in there that you could wrap around to set a charge. And then it does. You don't think it has a plunger or anything, but your intelligence is high enough. You could probably set that off with the screwdriver.
Okay.
You're welcome.
They're
Would your screwdriver count as magic?
With that in particular?
No,
'Cause some things...
it's a mechanical
Okay.
device. It can do magic,
Yeah.
but it's... I mean, it's like it's a machine.
Alright, these explode. I can use these.
It's better than 8 grenades.
It's
10
just 7 of
grenades.
those things.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I'm gonna back up and let you guys do your
Alright,
fancy stuff or whatever the hell you do.
Oh god. Should I use all of these, or should we, like, set off...
Well, they're all in one...
Okay, they're
there's
all
two,
in
You
one
have 2
thing.
chains.
Okay.
You have two basically
Two
daisy chains of
chains.
blasting caps.
Two chains.
Chain.
And it looks like they're attached by these silver wires, so you don't have to put them in a straight line. You can arrange them however you like.
But they're 2 separate ones, so theoretically...
There's 2
I
separate
could-
ones
okay.
with there's extra wire in
can.
there that you could cut,
Okay.
and then they have a splicing wire on the center of 7.
Okay. Should I use both of these at once on this?
I would only use one.
Yeah, let's save one in case we.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put one and kind of arrange it on the rock and the...
Okay, go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
8.
8. Okay, so you think you have arranged it
Oh god.
decent?
Okay.
You ready?
I don't know, I gotta set up a way to do this.
Grab the wire and you sort of splice it in there. That's easy enough. You've done that wire splicing since birth, basically. You can run it back, and you can get it to a point where you think it's probably safe to detonate. The only detonator you have is...
Detonate it and then run.
It's not how it's... You,
No, do the thing and then run!
it's very quick. Electricity is quicker than I can run.
The line is... Like, he walked into the fucking...
He's like next to us.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like standing where you're at.
Okay, I thought he was not quite all the way.
No, it's got an extra wire. Like when you...
So it's got a long... Okay.
Like, think dynamite plunger wire.
Okay.
Yeah, but without the plunger or dynamite.
Got it.
So it's just
Alright,
Okay,
ready?
zap it.
Okay. You do the thing. Go ahead and roll me a basically a tinker check.
Do I add new proficiencies or anything to that?
Yeah, it's
Because I am proficient in Tinker Tools.
Yeah, it's probably forget. Were we just doing a straight up intelligence check with proficiency on that? Is that what we were doing?
I don't know. You had me just do an intelligence check.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. Yeah, intelligence check with proficiency is your tinker. Yeah.
Okay. 18?
18, yeah. And then, like, maybe half a second passes, and you hear... And there was a definite explosion in that room. It'll take a moment for everything to settle down, but you can walk in at any point.
Once it clears a little bit, yeah, I'm going.
Okay. So you look, and it definitely seems like you cracked this rock. You kind of put them around the side a little bit. It didn't break apart totally. The bottom is still definitely there. The top of it, it kind of slopes up the further it gets away from the initial explosion. But there seems to be enough space there that you guys could probably squeeze through. There is some debris that you'd probably have to clear. The shovels and pickaxes make that easy work.
Alright, want to do that, and we'll save the other charge in case we need it?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright. So, I need everyone who's going first, and then you need to make rolls to get through.
Sure, I'll go first.
Why do you say that like none of us were gonna volunteer?
I just assumed no one would. So I'll go first.
I was gonna say I'll go first if you
I'm the
want.
smallest, so it makes
Do we
sense.
really
Zero
want
is
our
actually the
VIP getting
smallest.
killed?
Without counting the people that are not in the best of shape, I should go first.
Ziri, he's kind of condescending to you right now.
That's not being condescending. That's just pointing out a fact that they aren't in the best shape.
You go first.
If this thing collapses and he dies,
I have a coin right here.
Go ahead
Let's
and roll
go.
an acrobatics check.
Dex, yeah. 11.
Yeah, you get through to the other side. It's not easy, and when the boulder is at its highest point, when you're pressed up against the ceiling, there's times where you have to really squeeze through, and you're pretty small, so. But you make your way to the other side. And
All right, good luck.
You look back, and yeah, that whole thing had just been collapsed. This side is not actually as bad. That boulder was definitely the cause.
How long is the passageway?
About 15 feet.
Okay, I'm going to take my shield off and put it ahead of me and scoot it so that way I have more room this way.
Okay.
It's not on my back.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check. Squeeze on through.
Acrobatics. Oh boy.
Yeah.
3!
3. Nope. You immediately get stuck.
Guys!
You're up there on the boulder, just.
Oh no, it's pretty easy of my.
I am much
perspective.
bigger than you.
Get better. I'm sure.
I'm sorry that my arms are just so muscular I can't fit through this fucking
God.
passageway.
Well, then move the rocks so you can if you're so strong.
Not a good place for snark when you're jammed between rocks.
The shield
And I'm not.
slides off a little bit.
Wait, the shield...
Slides off ahead of you.
Oh, it slides.
It's tall, so I mean it's still like.
Yeah. Did my shield make it out to the other
It's not on the
side?
other side. It's like halfway through.
Uh,
You could see it though.
I can see it.
okay, can he pull it?
He cannot reach that. You could try. You want to crawl back in and
No.
basically
That's-
the way it is.
Shield probably
It's
weighs as much as I do.
it's underneath where you need to be to get to it. Like there's like stuff here. It seems to have slidden under here, so you'd have to like push it back and pull
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna try to pull it back.
Okay, go
I
ahead and
can.
roll an athletics check. Simple one.
Oh, that's good. That's a 21.
Sure, you pull it back and reorient it, and then push it forward, and it kind of slides instead of doing this. And he can easily pull that across at that point.
Okay, grab the shield.
It's just getting through basically this high point where your sternum and back are both in contact with this boulder, and then the ceiling.
I don't know if I try to brute force my way through this or what.
Which above you, by the way, that's where the boulder came from. But at the end of that, the ceiling comes back down to where. So there's space above it. It's just.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to use my arms and legs to push myself forward. Like,
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an athletics and then an acrobatics check.
15?
15.
Yeah,
Okay,
athletics.
so add +3 to your acrobatics.
Hey, that's much better. That's a 16.
16. Okay, so that's normal modifier +3. I think it's 0. Then
It's
again.
0.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's enough. You're able to. You kind of turn to your side a little bit, and it hurts like a motherfucker, but you get through. Little claustrophobic there for a second. Thoughts of dying in this fucking hole.
Never again.
Yeah.
Pretty easy, huh?
Zimi
okay if you
goes
slap him.
through with a natural 19 without even trying. He just sort of like walks up on and ducks down and
Pretty easy, huh?
pretty easy.
Why
huh?
are you so cocky?
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
Lenya snaps and kills the whole party.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an acrobatics check.
15.
You guys are
Oh,
all
yeah.
skinny twinks. You can fit
Yep,
in there.
getting right through.
Why? Not,
He's got a tail,
Not
huh?
everyone's a twink.
The
You're a
horns.
twink.
The horns give you a little bit of
He's
an
starved.
issue at first, but
I'm a bird.
You're tiny.
Seiko's gonna
Ziri's
try to go
tiny.
through.
Kasdan's definitely a
Seiko
twink.
just gets through. He's a little hobbled,
Yeah.
and he's bigger than Evelios is, but. And then Kasdan or Icilius.
I'll go last. Casting can go.
Okay. He sort of sits with you for a second, kind of looking at the hole. And he looks over to you and goes, I've been in worse.
Same.
Sort of gets up. He starts to scoot through, and then he looks back and he goes, that was a euphemism! And then he keeps... continues on.
Icilius.
If you wanted to take that shot, now's the time.
Just right in the ass.
No.
No.
I meant the self-inflicted wound.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, just putting a bullet in his head.
I thought he meant shooting Kazan. Either one.
Yeah. Both add up.
Nope, I'm gonna make my way through once he's clear.
Okay, go ahead and roll in acrobatics.
14.
Yeah, that's plenty. You get through. You push Julia forward and kind of do the under the barbed wire military crawl with the rifle and get out to the other side. Everything seems to be intact. No one died or got crushed by a giant boulder.
Thankfully.
And die from falling rocks.
Yep, no one died from the meme. So that's good. So, on the other side, you all now gather, and very quickly there's a fork in the path around kind of a hard bedrock-like looking pillar that doesn't have any crystals in it. At least not that you can see. To the right, it starts to get very dark, and to the left, you see what looks like possible sunlight.
Left. Definitely.
Okay.
Slowly.
Last time she said left and we followed her. It was a dead end.
How wrong can she be in one day?
Well,
Not that wrong, right?
someone could be wrong about everything in one day.
We're just assholes for no reason right now.
I'm just saying, like, from a perspective.
guys are
like,
really
just
mean to me.
because
I don't know
someone's
if you
wrong
realize.
once-
Sometimes.
You
how
guys are
rude
really
you
mean.
Thanks, Ziwi.
You're in charge.
No.
Yeah.
I'm fine with left. Left is fine. Whatever.
Eh,
Okay.
50-50 either way. So.
Who's in front?
Well, I'll lead again.
Okay. And you said slowly. Did you
I'll
want
let
to
him
stealth?
think he's the leader.
Okay.
No, I'm just the best at navigation and stealthing, unlike you.
Are we being sneaky right
He said he wanted to.
I wanted to
don't-
go
it's up to
slowly
you guys.
because if there's light,
If there-
there
yeah.
could be someone over there. We
now?
don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
But I'd
So
just say-
is anyone going with you? Going ahead
Did you grab a
or
dice?
I'll go with
I
them.
thought I heard a dice fall earlier.
what's that?
I was talking to her.
No, Randy.
He said, "Oh, go."
I'll go with.
Okay, so Velios and Icilius walk ahead, and everybody else stays behind a little bit as they go stealthy. Is that correct?
I'm stealthy.
All right, go ahead and roll stealth for me.
21.
51.
I'll still try to be
Not
quiet,
plus 10.
but
At least you don't have disadvantage anymore.
shriggity shriggity shriggity.
12 for me.
12. All right. It's dim light for a while, and it takes a little bit. You guys walk for a good 3 or 4 minutes, slowly, as this path sort of winds up. And then in front of you is what looks like a reinforced sort of door, but it doesn't seem to have any lock on it. And there's light coming through the wooden slats.
Like, can I look through the slats or?
Sure, you can.
I want to try that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your perception check.
27.
Okay. Through the slats, you kind of look to the side, and you can't really hear anything from the other side necessarily. It seems like this is buffeting sound, which might be a good thing, because as you look through, and you're wearing your goggles, so you can see to the end of that, outside, about 300 yards past this door, is another door that's open. And there are at least 36 soldiers at the exit of the cave. I mean, they saw you go down into a tunnel, so it seems like you've definitely, at least you're being tracked at this point, for sure. And you see a squad of 6 soldiers currently being fastened with helmets with what seem to be arcane lights on the sides of them.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the party.
And so they're getting buckled down, and they seem to be going through something. The other soldiers are normal, so it seems like they're sending a squad in to sweep.
We're gonna go back.
Okay, yeah, gonna go back.
I'm never going left again. Let's go right this time.
Okay.
There's about
What?
40 soldiers waiting down the left side.
Okay, it's also an exit. That's why we were gonna look.
And there's 40 soldiers.
Well, then let's hurry up and go right.
Yes, let's
quickly.
go right, please.
For the record, it's good we went left first,
I
so we
agree.
know this.
I
Yeah.
agree, but just both times we went left, it's just been a dead end and then 40 soldiers.
I mean,
I will
we
say
needed...
I did call this before
Okay,
we
but
went down there.
when we went left and found the dead end had the explosives, which let us clear the passage.
Yeah,
So
but, that was an accident.
seems like every time we go left, we've been getting useful information to continue our journey.
Lefts are beneficial for the eventual right.
Yes. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
It's a very generous spin on things.
You drop into the 9 hells and never take a left. Just going in circles for eternity.
Oh. Stubbornness will be the
Okay,
death
so
of
you
me.
take a
Yeah.
right.
Probably by her hand.
Yep.
Also.
Yeah, because you guys just have to be assholes. It's just part of your nature.
You head out into the darker but wide-mouthed cavern. It seems like this area sort of opens up a little bit, and maybe this wasn't all mined, but maybe this is like a pocket or something that they mined into. The floor is muddy from what seems like frequent foot travel. The sounds of your footsteps echo higher, or unusually high up on the ceilings that seem to be up a little bit. You all have dark vision. You can see the ceilings are about 30 feet up. It's pretty impressive. And so you guys sort of like, as you pick your feet up through this mud, surprisingly damp in this area. And you travel for a few minutes. What speed are you guys going? Are you just trying to fuck off?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a brisk pace. And as you do so, you rise slightly over time, like on an incline, and the mud ends up becoming more of a stony dirt floor, which ought to be much quieter, and it is when you step onto it. But this is taking about 15 minutes or so, and as you listen, you hear the sounds of muddy footsteps behind you. Somewhere in the darkness. It seems to be far enough away that they're going slowly, it seems. And you're not in chase yet.
Follow. If it comes down to it, we should probably set those explosives to collapse another part of the cave behind us.
If we do that, let's hope we do it in an area that doesn't end up trapping us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Always guerrilla warfare this shit.
Take them out one at a time as they come through the cave.
Like, if we get into a room, wait for them to run past the room, and then jump on them.
That's if we find any place to
Yeah.
dip off.
So I said if we find a room.
Sure.
We'll just keep going at a quick pace.
Okay. So you head deeper into the cave, everybody?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Avelio's still up front?
Yeah.
So Celia's up there too now, or are you back?
Yeah, I'll take second.
Okay. And then you're in back?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything anybody wants to do while you travel, just in case?
I'm just gonna try to keep an eye out on
How long has it been
or an
since
ear
we-
out.
How long has it been
Since what?
since we went through the prison? It's for.
Oh, you've been down here a couple hours, maybe. Well, the before the blockage.
Yeah.
It had been probably 2 hours or so in between your short rest and the Mistral stuff, and then traveling back and forth, and it was kind of a long way to the blockage. After that, probably took another hour or so.
Okay. It's for my imbue because it lasts for 8 hours, so I want to make sure that we're still...
Right, so you're probably at 3.5 right now. Almost 3:45.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep an ear out behind us to see if the sounds get any
Go ahead and roll
closer.
perception.
Oh, it was almost really good. Just a 8.
Okay. They seem to be... You're going in a little bit deeper now, and you can't really hear it as well as it sort of winds around, and you don't have a direct sound. But it definitely sounds like they're still walking through the mud a little bit, so
Okay.
you get the occasional sound. So, you guys all head deeper into the cave with Icilius and Velius up front. On your left side, as you sort of walk around, there's a large cut-out area of the stony walls, and it's also dimly lit by some seemingly intentionally placed like sconces that are lit by those blue crystals. They almost look like a brass or a gold attached to the walls and sort of anchored in. They're not very nice, they're just there for lighting. As you sort of look in, there's several covered in sturdy looking carts, neatly placed one next to another. And then the path continues as well.
There's like mining carts.
They look like mining carts, probably. They're not on rails or anything. They're small enough to where you could push it, but big enough to where they could carry, and they have wheels on them. And they're covered by these, like, thick, snap-down, like, tonneau covers.
Do we want to try to trap behind us with these or something?
No, then they know we're this way.
True.
But I think we should just go through the carts quickly and then keep going. Maybe there's something useful.
Yeah, just quickly lift the cover.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't the two of you at the front make an investigation check each?
Oh boy.
That's you two?
It's silly.
Me
It's...
Oh.
and- yeah. 13?
7.
All right. Not terribly hard. The two carts nearest the entrance are filled with small blue crystals, none of which seem very useful to your means, unless you took the whole cart. As for the other carts, you quickly scan through, and the other 5 of them are all pretty much empty, save for some debris at the bottom of them. But canopied by those heavy leather covers, and they hook down on each corner and they pull
Why
tight.
don't we just hide in these?
You don't think they're gonna? Of course, they're gonna search them for sure. They're definitely gonna be like,
100%.
if I were looking for someone in this
They're certainly
area.
big enough for any of you to fit in, as she says that.
100% searching through these.
Yeah, I think that's not a good
They're
idea. I think we should stay
They
ahead
know
of them while
they're
we can.
looking for people, so they're not just gonna...
Fuck, I wish we could use magic.
Yeah, me too.
Let's keep going.
All right.
Oh, like I probably could have used my
Like a
my mech armor to bust through that wall instead of
True.
explosives. Also, I could
Actually,
have at
but
least
that-
tried it.
We don't need it for later, though, so I'm
Doesn't
kind of
that
glad you
get
didn't.
powered by an arcane gem?
It does. You're right.
Yeah, but so are the drills in here.
Okay.
That one drill, at least. And these lights don't seem to be.
Well, if we
sending
need to punch a
troops
bunch
them.
of soldiers, I guess we could use your mech armor.
Okay.
About 3 dozen of them. That's absolutely an option you can take if you like.
5 verse 36, let's do it.
Let's call it 7.
Yeah.
We'll combine Ziwi and Seiko into 1, Kazdan 6. Or 5, right?
So we'd have 6.
Yeah, 6.
6 verse 36. It's fine.
Not terrible. Almost died to one person.
I mean, we're a sixth of
Okay,
their
but he
numbers.
was like a big guy.
Sure. If you guys want to go turn around and murder all these
No, I don't
soldiers,
I'm good.
you absolutely can
Yeah,
try.
let's just keep going.
I don't want to. Don't let me stop you.
Let's keep going.
Okay. God, that initiative order. I don't want to deal with that.
All right, let's go.
We're batch firing if you guys fight 36
let's do it
soldiers.
just for.
You guys can.
Just for
I will not stop you. All right. So, you head further into the cavern, and you're just using your dark vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check as you head down this pathway.
24.
24. That's very good. You walk forward, and then you see it, but you also like sort of hear it as there's the sounds of your footsteps sort of change a little bit as they bounce off the walls differently, and you notice and you kind of put your hand up and everybody sort of stops behind you. There's a large hole here. It doesn't span the whole like expanse. It seems like people walk around it, but there's a deep hole.
Hole.
What if we put tarps over it? And tried to trick them. And they fell.
We have to go back and get the things over
That's true. Should have taken it
What if
with
you
us.
paint a rope bridge?
Then it would work like a rope bridge.
Well, it's not very big. It's not like a long hole.
Could you paint it to
That would be a
intentionally
hilariously
fail?
short rope bridge,
Yeah.
like 4 panels.
Could I paint
It's just
like...
Could you paint
basically-
a floor?
Could I paint
It's
a
basic-
very thin layer of floor that, like...
Would break?
Okay, so it's about this big around.
Oh, the paint's magic.
It
Paint's-
looks like you
You're
could.
right.
It looks like you could down into it, or tumble forward into it as it's sort of angled like this a little bit into the because it sort of dips down. You get the feeling you could possibly even trip and fall forward into it, and so you'd be upside down in this, however deep this hole is. It's a terribly placed hole. A rope bridge
Set
is
a-
hilarious.
Set a tripwire.
If you could do that too. As far as your ideas, the paint is concerned, very very thin. You might be able to, and it would only be as sturdy as the material you wanted it to be. So
Yeah, make it like fucking. It looks like stone, but it'll break if you step on it. They won't even know.
Magic paint as a magical item.
you don't know.
It's just
Could I-
passively
We
existing.
could paint giant spikes at the bottom of it too, so then they fall. Just
It's kind of brutal, but we'd have to get down to the bottom of it.
no.
I'm just so concerned that the act of painting
I know, I
would be
agree.
considered an activation of some sort
You
of
do
magical...
now. Roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
This doesn't seem worth the risk.
Yeah, I agree.
16.
16. You know that while the marvelous pigments sitting in the pot are definitely not active magically because you weren't murdered immediately.
Yeah.
You've had them the whole time. Every time you do it, it basically animates with your final stroke.
Gotcha.
As
Okay.
far as
It would
So-
animates because it doesn't come alive, but
I know what you
it
mean.
kind of becomes the last thing. So you don't know if that's magical enough, but it's certainly magical.
Do you have any thread or anything from your components, maybe, that we could make a tripwire?
You don't use
I mean,
a
I have-
components pouch, but you might have something in your tinker tool.
I
or
have
something.
tinker tools that would
We have
probably...
rope in our explorer's packs.
I mean, you also have carrying a case with silver wire in it.
Ooh, let's use that.
Use the blasting cap wire.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
What do you want me to do? Set up, like, the
Just
explosives?
run a very small wire so that they might trip and fall into the hole.
Well, then they definitely will know they're on the right way.
No, they might not even notice the wire.
They'll notice it if they trip on it.
Well, they
Oh no, the
somebody's
miners have
foot.
accidentally laid a tripwire.
Into a hole.
I have ball bearings.
Yes.
That will be even more obvious.
That's what I thought. But it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's very... that's not a reference I can
What
make.
if we could make it look like a ball bearing spill?
Yeah, that is totally natural.
Drop my ball bearings
I
in
think
the cave.
ball bearings, I feel like, are less conspicuous than a clearly set up wire.
If there's not a bunch of them, they might.
The
look
point of a
like-
wire is that you don't see it.
Okay, but if they trip, they're gonna be like, what the fuck did I just trip on?
Okay,
They're
and
gonna-
ball bearings won't be more fucking obvious?
Then, at the very least, we can't...
Well, I mean, you gotta think, ball bearings and like tiny rocks are probably the same size.
I don't know.
Run the fucking wire.
Why don't we just leave it and just keep going?
Fine, we can also do that.
Alright, let's go.
Elenia just starts walking
Let's-
past the
Instead
hole.
of just arguing.
I agree.
Kasdan walks up next to Elenia and goes, "You know, I for one was for passively murdering someone in that hole. So I'm with you." He kind of holds his fist up for a knuckle bump. I'm playing it cool, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. So you continue on?
Honestly, Kasdan, you should probably... I was probably wrong earlier. Maybe you should go, like... Maybe the reverse would work. Like, if you push
gonna insight check
really
you.
hard...
You roll a natural 19. Go ahead and roll a deception check. He was here for the whole conversation.
I rolled a natural 19, and my deception
well, now
is...
I have to look at his insight.
Yeah, my
Pretty good
deception...
at insight. Okay.
23.
29.
Aw.
He goes, ha ha ha, very funny. I probably will do that, though.
Honestly, I think to be honest, it might work.
I don't know.
Can I hear
He's an
them? Are
extreme-
they far enough away?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
He's an
Because
extreme
they're definitely
enough
trying to be
person.
Can I
quiet.
hear them with a 20?
With a 20.
29.
Oh, yeah.
Never
Oh, yeah.
mind.
There's only so much whispering does in a cave. Yeah. Yeah. You can hear Elenia plotting your demise.
I just say, still not gonna fuck him.
That doesn't mean
That
you can't-
hurt!
Yeah, why are you gonna hurt people's feelings? Why are you such an asshole?
What?
Not that you're obligated.
Why are
I was
you
gonna say,
so
is my consent
inconsiderate?
compulsory now?
No!
Elenia?
Well, why are you such an inconsiderate asshole?
Because I don't want to
know?
suck this elf dick?
Wait, what? That was on the table?
That's not the point.
Damn it! And he sort of walks away.
You could just take him on a
Wait,
date.
shh, 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 shh. We should be quiet.
There are soldiers following us. You guys are fucking.
You guys just sort of
yelling.
speed walk arguing,
Yeah,
like under.
You
like,
say that
you're
like the-
stage whispering. Hey,
yeah, like
This is the standard. This is how we communicate, goddammit.
this is love.
I'm not trying to die. By 36 soldiers.
I
I
feel
know
like you're.
about Joel.
I feel like you're always trying to die. So
I'm not.
that's a
I'm
lie.
legitimately not trying to die.
Oh,
Can we go? Can we go?
We're still walking.
Can we
We're
go
not stopping.
Yeah, but like, can we like?
We're just whispering while we walk.
while you whisper and walk, you walk past a similar alcove as before. There's a couple carts here, both of which are empty, both covered, very similar. There's also a small table and a few chairs with an unlit arcane lantern sitting atop it.
Is there anything on the table?
You can go over in
Besides
the area
that?
and check if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check in the area here.
Oh, that's real great. 6.
You should take that lantern.
6, you don't see anything. You kind of walk over and give it a quick look before heading back. And there's definitely carts, a table, 3 or 4 chairs. 3 chairs up. One of the chairs is pulled all the way over to the wall, like back against it. And then there's the lantern that's not lit.
I'm gonna grab the lantern but not light it. Just have it.
Okay. You grab the lantern, you just look it over real quick, and basically you can dial it up, and it will give you dim light for 30 feet. It's the same blue
Yeah.
arcane crystal on the inside.
I'm just gonna keep it not lit for now.
Right, it's fine.
Keep going. I think. Unless anyone else wants to look for something.
I'm good. I don't want to be caught by the people either.
Okay. And we keep going.
Okay.
I feel like we're just walking by a bunch of traps that we could be using. And we're just going, I'm walking by.
So you want
Jesus
to
Christ, did you watch Predator recently or something?
What?
I was gonna say, First Blood. She just wants
I
to
know,
fucking
right?
murder all these cops.
It's amazing. I love it.
My name's Elaine.
No!
I hate killing people, but let's
I
get
hate
traps.
killing people. How can we murder them
That's
in
not-
unexpected,
But not
horrible ways?
directly by my hand.
I don't want to see it, but I definitely want to know it was me.
travel time if you'd like to defend yourself.
Considering what I said was out of character, and I assume that was out of character from you
Mine
guys.
was completely out of character.
So. No.
I don't want to watch, but I want to know. That's like kink level murder. Oh, that's so funny.
I hate you guys.
I'm just saying, it's adding up with
I love
that,
it. This-
and the kneecaps. She's secretly a serial killer, and she's fucking. It's like if I.
She's trying to protect her friends! Jesus fucking Christ!
I'm gonna protect you by making you fall into a goddamn pit and bleed out. You bleed.
Caston walks over to you and goes, I respect you so much.
Thanks, Kazdan. I'm just trying to keep my friends safe from danger and, like, you know, imprisonment and beheading and, you know, whatever the hell they'll do to us, like torture and, you know, because this is a very corrupt regime that is, killing and murdering and torturing people constantly. But, you know, no, it's fine.
We killed police officers recently.
I feel like
We
Alenia
killed people that weren't bad.
Police officers that were torturing people.
would have a very, very intensive blog if she could, and it would be updated several times a day with, like...
She does have a diary.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
let me tell you what made me mad today. The people I choose to spend time with of my own free will
For the 300th day
continue
in a
to
row.
abuse
It's
me,
not
and it
free-
is not my fault in any way.
It's not free will
300th
anymore,
day in a
honestly.
row.
Day 300, still the same shit.
Alenia is the strongest.
Not once she
The
considered...
fact that she hasn't murdered all of
Oh,
you.
no. Oh my god.
The strongest.
She's too
will
pure to be like,
people.
maybe I just need better friends. Maybe just,
She's so
like,
loyal.
abandon this group. Find some...
She's so loyal. Like, she could have flown off at any point and said, "Fuck you guys," but you know.
Oh god.
She's like an abused puppy with wings.
Yeah.
That bites a lot, but the owners love her, so they don't put her down.
What? I don't bite a lot.
The murders.
The murders.
I bite
The murders
intruders
and
that
the-
are coming to kill you.
Right,
That's what I do.
but like usually the city comes and like, hey, you can't have that.
Self-defense, bitch.
Self-defense traps.
It is self-defense.
By the dogs.
It's just weird that...
Are they not going to capture us and murder us if they catch us?
But why is it...
To slow them down.
But then why do you spend the time to be like, but guys...
Did you guys realize that, like, I don't know, well, you guys are all sleeping, so you have no fucking clue.
I don't know that self-defense is a valid excuse for murdering law enforcement.
You killed a fetus! You
That
killed
was
an innocent
self-defense. That was
woman!
a civil matter.
You killed an innocent pregnant woman! You have no say!
This is off the rails.
You constantly talk about how much you want to murder and kill people!
Valios is like, ah! You see a
cut
glint of
off the
flame in her
wings.
iris.
But I don't deny it.
You cut
I
off
don't
the wings!
deny it. I embrace it.
I'm not denying anything right now!
No, she just wants to talk about it and how bad she feels. That wasn't insulting. That was just an
You
appraisal.
were just like me from the beginning! You didn't want to kill people as much as possible!
But see, the thing is, then we did kill people, and I didn't keep killing people and being like, guys, we shouldn't kill people. Stab. Guys, we shouldn't kill people. Sets up
I
murder
still
trap.
think-
Guys, we can't kill people. Kills 7 million
Okay,
people.
whatever. Fuck you. We've killed people. And we had to do it because there was no other option. It's not fun. It never will be fun. But sometimes it has to be done.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
was
Now,
gonna
why do we
say
continue to have
sometimes
this conversation? Every time we murder anyone.
We're not having this conversation. You guys are the one bringing it up whenever I'm just
bring
trying to save our asses. You guys are constantly being the ones to bring it up first.
Yeah, because
Jesus.
it's funny. Oh god.
End a bit.
Do you, I think once we get out of the cave,
We have very
group counseling.
we have very very complicated interpersonal relationships in this group.
There's so many different versions of killing or wanting to die within this. It's...
In her defense, she's been away from her boy toy for a while.
That's
Someone's
true.
on your,
It's pent up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone's on your side, that's fine. If you kill them, they'll stop. Us. If you kill us, we'll stop making fun of you.
Alenia casts a spell and fucking leaves.
Whatever, bitches, bye! I can fly.
Entire group suicide by cop would be the best ending
Yep.
to the story for no
It
reason.
would be. It'd be like watching the beginning of was it The Other Guys?
Yeah.
And then stopping when Foo
Rock.
Fighters stops playing.
Yep.
Hey, do you guys want to continue into this mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just walking. I'm rage walking ahead of everyone.
So you're in front?
Yes.
Beautiful. So,
Our intrepid murder gang leader. The professor thinks to himself and doesn't say out loud.
so the pathway winds to the right and continues in a tunnel.
Returning all your Christmas presents right now.
Fuck, good thing you haven't bought mine yet.
Yeah.
And it continues into a tunnel about 20 feet wide, and then slowly starts to arc back left. As you continue down this way, Alenia stomping forward, but still being careful. The rage it doesn't overcome the actual thought behind your movements. Professor, you notice something out of the corner of your eye on the wall. You shake it off at first, but then you recognize the feeling. That wall is casting a perception filter.
Okay. I want to go up to the wall.
Yeah, because at first you don't care about the wall at all, and that's unnatural for you,
Okay.
and you've been around this enough. Okay, so you approach the wall.
Touch it. See
Okay,
if it's
your
really
hand-
there for one thing.
Your hand approaches the wall and passes right through it.
Ooh. Ghost wall.
What? Ghost wall?
Lenya
I do
stops
this.
stomping and goes,
What?
"What?"
What?
Oh!
So we should go-
All of you get the sensation of like the reverse effect a car accident has on people, where you want to crane the other way, like instinctively. The perception filter sort of repels you, but once you decide that you want to look at it, you look at it. It's something that people would absent-mindedly just go by, and apparently miners here aren't very smart.
Well-
Go figure. So
How about we walk behind it because it might be.
Sorry,
a hiding
miners.
place.
They got the black lung. They don't care. They got bigger problems. Like their
M-
job.
Mesothelioma.
Isn't that a thing you get from asbestos?
Yeah,
all those asbestos miners.
Again,
this is where you get it.
downtime, not good for us.
Downtime, walking briskly
Yeah.
away from oncoming soldiers.
This is pretty close to downtime for us.
Yeah,
pretty
this
close
is
to
this is the
downtime
calmest
for us.
we've had in a little bit.
Is that true? You had like a really nice stroll in a taxi.
And on
It's
the
all
ship
bickering.
for, like,
It's
4
bickering all the way
minutes.
down. So.
So nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Ah.
So, you pass your hand through the wall several times. It works every single time.
Alright, let's walk through that. And
For the
see.
record, I try to be nicer.
No, you don't.
But then you say things that
you
keep
don't
being
try.
funny.
You don't try to be nicer. at
I
all.
try.
You
I just
haven't.
fail
No.
99% of the time.
You haven't tried.
I'll try harder.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Alright, wall.
Okay, so you,
He did point out the wall to us. That's pretty nice.
as you guys are sort of bickering and doing this, Evelius and Icilius, you hear footsteps.
Yeah, we should go through the wall now.
In the wall.
Pick it up.
Everyone's sort of like, whoop,
Yep.
passes into the wall. On this side of it, you feel like there's also like a sound dampening, because as you're in here, the sound goes from this like. You ever have your ears shut real fast on you, where it goes, kind of like that sound. And you're in a 15-foot deep, maybe 30-foot wide sort of recess in the wall, and at the back of which is a pair of very sturdy-looking metal doors with some signage above in a very familiar circular script.
Oh shit.
And it says, Hedron Facility 2B.
Do we just...
Hedron Facility 2B.
What does that mean?
Is this what I think it is?
Hold on. Is this a time keep under the...
Well, you don't know if it's a time keep,
Sure.
but it's definitely your people's...
Yeah.
And obviously we've seen the language before, so we kind of recognize it at least.
And you said...
You definitely recognize it immediately as...
Why would that be here?
Fuck.
I don't know. But I also don't know what's the deal with the floating islands in general. I don't know where they came from.
Wait, do you
so-
think maybe your people made the floating islands?
I have no idea. I was gone longer than 5 years, so... A lot of stuff could have happened. I don't know.
Did the world look at all similar to ours from your time, or?
Not civilization-wise.
But I mean, like the landscape.
Similar, but yeah, stuff changes over...
Like,
long
for
time
instance, the
periods of time.
time keep you guys were in under the Sanguine Sea was not filled with water. The Sanguine Sea was waterless.
Yeah.
So tectonics and time and things change. To the right of that door, of the pair of doors, is a small electronic panel set into a dirty but clearly manufactured wall. It's a flat, like, gray slate wall. It almost looks like the common building materials of your people. And yeah, it's dusty, and from beneath that dust, the display casts a gentle green light. Sort of.
Does it, the panel or whatever, does it say anything on it?
I mean, it's covered in dust. You'd have to walk up to it. And see.
Okay, walk up to it
Okay,
and
so
try
you-
and wipe it off.
You
and see if
and sort of wipe away a thick layer of dust from the screen, and again in your language, the display reads "breach contained," and then it offers two options on a touch screen: end and restart containment.
What?
I don't like when you take that long to make a decision.
Yeah, what is it?
The screen's somewhat enigmatic, but
You
enticing.
you see Siko, Ziwi, and Kazdan look at this and kind of not understand what they're looking at fully. Like, they understand that these are doors, that's a thing glowing. They don't know what the circles are. And they're you can see them kind of like... doing this. Or they know that you guys get it, but they don't get it, but you guys are talking. So
Alright, relay to them basically what's on the screen. It says, and what does it say? End or,
end or restart containment.
I don't know which one of these is a good decision to make, because I don't know what's being contained, and I don't know if restart containment
Right.
undoes the containment and restarts it, or if end just ends
Well,
it.
to restart something, don't you have to, like, end it and then do it again?
Right, but I don't know. Do we want to try and get out of the cave through this and see if this is a way out?
What's it containing?
What would your people feel the need to...
As you're on the outside of this, Icilius and Velios, like, even as you say that, you sort of hear...
Oh shit.
There's the sound of footsteps walking past your area and around it. So, I mean, they don't seem to hear you guys even discussing anything, so...
Do we want to try and go through here? Because then I assume we got to end the containment, go in, and then if we needed to reseal this, I assume restart containment and reseal it back up, but...
I mean,
What
it's
you're
our only
saying.
option.
Is anything like the last one we went to?
In fairness, we did survive that.
Barely. Literally just barely.
Also, that thing could have actually killed you.
Fair enough.
What thing?
The bone,
Those weird alien things that we.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh god.
Do you want to explain to Kasdan and them what you're talking about? Because they all look at you like, Bo, what?
There were these.
It's
Bone
loaded.
monsters?
Alright, I'm not from around here. From where I'm from, there's a lot of research going on, and we happened across one of the facilities, kind of from where I'm from, and there were sort of bony, awful abomination
They were
monsters
terrifying.
that murder a lot.
They were intelligent too, because they like stalked us and tried to creep us out.
Oh,
Long
sounds pleasant. That
claw
might be in
hands.
here.
No,
There
it's
was also one that had a dimension that was made entirely of meat.
He's
And
gonna
we
roll
had
an
to
intelligence check.
we had to walk
He
through.
rolled a natural 4. He looks at you, milky-eyed, and
I pull out my meat coin.
Oh God, you still.
you still have the fucking meat coin. Oh
Yeah,
God!
I have one of them. I did something else with one of them, but I still
you
think
have
you
ate
ate
one
it.
of them.
It's been
Oh, yeah,
months.
probably.
Yeah, it's been months.
It's gotta be so
And-
gross.
So, have you ever seen? Okay, so there's a certain point in the decay of meat when it goes from real soggy and gross, and you've kept flies and stuff off of it, to just like dehydrated and aged.
Yeah, like an
And
old
not,
McDonald's
but you
patty.
didn't salt it. It's not jerky. It's just like sort of a floppy disc of really old greening meat.
Icilius, you're lucky you weren't with us for that.
Yeah.
Who was with us? Was that your
Rorik?
Zorik.
Grorik.
Grorik?
Or
Zorik.
Zorik.
You're right.
Zorik. Grorik is
Is
totally different.
yeah. Zorik was with us.
A name I came up with before Zorik existed.
All right, are we gonna go through here to try and find a way out?
It's either this or we go back to the soldiers.
I don't want to go back to the soldiers.
I don't want to go back to the soldiers.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, fuck it, let's go.
It's a rock and a hard place
In
situation.
containment.
Yeah.
So, end.
Yeah, I'll hit end containment.
Alright.
I'm bracing myself.
You press end and you
Juliet, they're
hear...
ready.
and you hear two loud metal... and a vent above the door opens in slats, and it coughs dust into the air above you as a fan inside starts whirring softly. It seems to be recirculating oxygen into the facility itself. What do you want to do? So the doors seem like they probably unlocked from the inside.
All right, let's go up. I'll go up to the door and.
Do you want everybody to go in, or are people staying behind, or...
Yeah, do we want?
Seiko, Ziwi, and Kasdan look inside. Kasdan seems a little bit more interested than the other two. Seiko's definitely interested, but beat up. This is normally a thing he'd be down for, but...
I think Seiko and Ziwi should stay here at least until we scout ahead more.
They seem relatively safe, unless they really make a ruckus. But they'll come with you. They offer as
I think
well.
we should leave them here until you know it's safe.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do
Yeah,
that
you
for
guys
now.
stay here.
I can
Wait.
watch them or come with you. I don't know how... Is this a big place?
Should bring them.
Don't know.
We might need them.
How about we scout ahead a little bit and then
If we get to like a safe-looking area,
yeah,
then we'll bring them in.
we'll
and-
bring them in and then we'll slowly
Okay.
progress that way.
All right, I'll
So hang back with them.
sounds good. I'll stay with the birds. And then Ziwi looks up and goes, "Stay with the birds." Okay, so you're gonna walk in.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so you push the doors in, and they swing inward, and immediately the smell of stagnation and carbon fills your nostrils. It's completely dark in here for a moment, and then a small buzzing noise starts to ping overhead. And And you hear the back of the head buzz of several lights coming on.
Oh God.
So, the lights slowly pop in and out before settling and casting a soft white light on the dark gray interior. In front of you is kind of like an annex of sorts. It's a circular-ish room, although the walls of which seem a little bit pockmarked and warped. To your... and it splits off into 4 directions. To your immediate right is a console set into the wall with a dusty black chair in front of it. Also to your right, but further into the room, is an extension of this room that leads to 2 double doors with porthole windows in them. There used to be some signage above the double doors, but it seems time or something else has caused it to chip away, causing it to become unreadable for you. Also further into the room, but to the left, is a small but secure-looking set of double doors. Above this, signage is also ruined, but the doors have the unforgettable large purple and gold insignia of the Institute. The very institute that governed your people. Thoughts of your father, the Monitor, immediately enter your mind, and a quiet anger builds inside you before you tamp it down. It doesn't take very long, only a few moments, but you haven't felt that way in quite some time. Certainly not as long as you've been here. However, as you continue looking, your anger fades as to your direct left, crumpled at the feet of 2 large metal doors, is the unmistakable visage of a corpse. From here, you can easily see there's no flesh left on the bones, but the form of the upper body seems to be held together by a sturdy-looking security vest. Strapped to it, a completely useless firearm of some kind seems to have been, like, melted. And that's what you see.
Oh
What
God!
the fuck are you people get into?
We
When
saw
you
what
say-
was in the last place.
Like melted, like the metal or whatever it's made of is
Do you want
like
to walk over to the corpse?
yeah.
Alright, go ahead and roll an
Is
investigation.
it the same from the last place?
Is that armor in
It's
good condition?
not the
Because
same.
Icilius's is.
19.
Okay. As you ask that question, your cursory investigation of it initially, the right arm is definitely underneath the corpse, but the left arm is extended away from the body. So from your perspective, imagine this is my back. It kind of looks like this.
Okay.
It looks like... actually, roll an insight check.
15.
Okay. It looks like this person was trying to protect something in their right hand while reaching for the console that's next to these double doors with their left hand. And as far as the question of the vest, you'd have to, like, take it off to check it. But that seems intact. Like, the rest of it, like, there was a bottom half to this body. The bones are... There's still pieces. But the skull is intact.
Can I do a medicine
At least
check?
the back of it. Yeah, you can do a medicine check.
I want to see if I can determine what
Okay.
killed...
Do you want to take the vest off? You're gonna have to take the vest off to really do it.
Yeah, so
medicine
I'll
check.
take it off and say
Because
maybe...
it's pretty bulky. Okay.
I pass it to Icilius and say maybe this would...
Okay.
you know,
so
be a
you
replacement.
sort of push the corpse over a little bit. Go and roll your medicine check and then hold on to that number for me for a second. Because the vest comes first.
Okay.
The vest seems to be in pretty good condition. You sort of hand it off to the professor as you're kind of more focused on this person's corpse. It seems in pretty pristine condition, but dusty. Under further inspection, because your investigation roll is high enough, you see that the buckles it buckles in front several times. Actually, I have a picture of it.
Oh,
Oh, it fell.
rip.
Rip. Did that actually get to you?
No, it's
No.
It's on the ground.
Crawl.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to set it on the top there.
Kind of went.
Yeah, it did the thing Alenia's shield did. That was my fault. I apologize. Forgive me. So, you see it buckles in front several times and is made of a relatively lightweight but durable material that's similar to leather but resilient like metal. Professor, you know this to be made of depth copper, a high-pressure crafted copper-based alloy fabric. You actually went to school with the guy that invented this, which is a little annoying if you're honest with yourself. Copper atoms compressed to reduce atomic space, but fused into thin sheets to maintain elasticity. So simple an idiot could come up with it, which is exactly what the yeoman was, which was his name, an idiot. You look up and take a moment and realize you've been saying all of this out loud. Looking back at the vest, you also see the melted remains of some ammunition magazines and what you assume are a pair of sidearms, but they're all melted. It isn't magical, but you know this to be resistant to plasma and energy weapons, which were common at the time. So it's effectively a +1 breastplate with resistance to fire, lightning, and radiant damage.
Ooh.
It also allows the wearer to holster 2 sidearms that can be reached quickly. This also grants you the ability to use the sidearm holster to make a single shot with each with the same action. You can do this a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. Separate attack rolls for each.
Yeah, his armor just broke, right?
Yeah, he needs new armor.
I will explain that to him and give it to him.
Okay.
And this is what it looks like. If people can see that from far away.
We could show Randy too. It's all buckly.
So,
Covered
Alenia,
in
you
buckles.
remove the vest, and what was your medicine roll?
18.
Okay, and you notice something weird at the back of the skull. There's almost like an egg-shaped, almost this big, like recess that looks to have been scraped away. It doesn't punch through, but it was like the bone was dug away at and then left. And as you investigate further with your roll, although mostly charred, you find small grooves cut into the almost hole burrowed into the back of the person's skull. Almost like a Ruffles chip, but less regular.
Like someone had
Guys?
Like it
gotten
was
into the skull
scraped,
and was scraping
like
the
in an
back.
egg shape.
Scraping into the skull.
Like it was like this, and then
And it's like on the interior of the skull or on the back?
on the
Like-
back, like the high point of the back of the skull,
Okay.
like where you're, like
On the outside of the skull, it's
the
straight?
outside of the skull going in.
Guys, something.
There's a reset, like it's literally like an egg shaped, like if you had like a meat hammer that was egg shaped and you went boop,
Oh.
but not broken, just like that part of the skull is gone, almost like just gone.
Guys, I pick up the or
doesn't-
turn the skull hole towards them.
Yeah, it looks humanoid. It doesn't look like a monster or anything. It looks like a person,
What
Well.
the heck?
probably one of yours.
Whatever they're containing probably did that.
Why are they containing something down here that punches holes through people's skulls?
I think that sentence sort of explains itself.
Why did they have that thing?
I don't know.
Also, a lot of the stuff is melted and the skeleton is charred, so it seems like fire, probably?
Other things can melt things. Acid can melt things. But it's either that or fire.
The vest is intact, and you said it was fire, lightning, and...
You're right. Yep.
Yeah, you didn't say acid. So it's definitely not acid. Some
enough.
sort of heat.
Specifically, depth copper was made to resist energy and plasma.
So either this thing punches holes and breathes fire or whatever, or two different things did that.
I think one thing's simpler, probably.
Or would fire be effective maybe against the thing and then he got caught in... There's no other corpses in here, is there?
Not that you can see.
Did you say there was another terminal, like, connected to some of the double doors that he was
basically, this
reaching
body
for?
is right at the base of 2 double doors, again, that seem to be locked, and then there's a console on there, to the left.
I'm gonna go look at the console and see what it
Okay.
says.
There's no, like, self-destruct thing in this place like in the last one we went to, right?
I don't know, I didn't build it.
You can roll a history check. Self-destruct.
Well, there was, like, a big, we overloaded
It
something
was a
to make
power
it...
generator.
Yeah, we
that
made it blow up.
It wasn't necessarily self-destruct, it was on purpose destruct.
Yeah.
You released the Eye of Harmony, I believe that was what it was, or something.
12.
12. Wait. Oh, that was your history check. Your lab had a containment protocol that involved incineration. But you're eccentric, so you don't know. You're admittedly eccentric when it comes to things, so...
I just like things that
Didn't we
explode.
romp through that and almost had that happen to us, too? When we went... You weren't there. Neither were you.
Nope.
Neither were you. I'm the only person that remembers going through that.
Did it even happen then?
Anyway, so you walk over to the console, and it flashes a soft green. It's only got a little bit of dust on it. And it says, please enter security code. You touch the screen, and your standard base 26 number pad pops up.
What?
They use base 26 instead of base 10.
How the fuck?
It's more efficient.
We need a code to open this, it looks like.
Do you...
No,
Have
I
any
do not know
guesses?
the...
No, I mean, like...
1111111.
Oh, God damn.
Well, it has 5 entries. Do you want to put 5 ones in?
11111.
Nope.
11112.
Are we gonna do this all day?
You only have 5 entries.
11113.
Oh, God.
11113. Nope.
I think this will take too long. I don't think that's a good idea. We gotta
Try
find the
1, 2,
code.
3, 4, 5.
That's incredibly dumb.
Which is
1, 2,
why
3, 4, 5.
Oh.
All right, we
Turns
gotta
out
look-
it's an actual security.
Turns out they're not fucking with us.
All
Hey,
right.
maybe they were crazy like the professor and couldn't remember their password, so they made it super easy.
There's a difference between crazy,
I have a feeling there's something
And-
on the ship that would be locked with the code 000.
but the point is you don't know which lock that is.
It's all of them, actually.
Anyway, there's another set of double doors. Let me go look at those.
Okay. Yeah. The ones with the portholes or
Yeah.
the small set?
The porthole ones.
Okay. Then there's also a console back behind you, like directly behind you,
Okay.
with a chair. So the double doors with the portholes in them, you're just pushing them open?
Can I look through the porthole? I want to...
They're very dusty and it's on the other side.
Oh, God.
Just open it.
I don't think that's a good idea. Before I open them, I'm going to go look at that other console.
Okay. So you head to the console, and it's also asking for a security code.
Okay.
You think you might be able to hack into these consoles at some point if you wanted to, but it might not be super easy, but it's worth a shot.
Okay. Can I just try it right now? Or is
Yeah,
that
you
something-
can
okay.
absolutely do that. It'd be with the screwdriver.
Alright. What do I gotta roll?
It'd be basically probably sleight of hand. It's called just like a lockpick.
16?
16. For this console specifically, it doesn't seem to be like quite enough. Did you roll with advantage?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
21.
That seems to be just enough. The
Wait,
electronic.
not 21, sorry. 17. My bad. I was thinking of the wrong modifier.
For your sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Okay. 17 is enough to get into this console, just barely. The electronic tumblers seem to have been taken care of. It basically has basic information because you can't, since you don't have a security code, it's giving you basic clearance, and you didn't hack it high enough. But basic information. So the room that the corpses in front of is a teleportation chamber. The very sturdy doors with the Institute's insignias on them is apparently deep cold stasis. And the double doors seem to be a lab. It seems, as you continue on reading some information, this entire facility deals in a material called hedron, but you don't know anything about that. The science must have been undertaken after you jumped in time.
Okay. All right. A teleport chamber could help us get out. Oh, well, we didn't know. We don't know exactly where the.
Wouldn't that be magical and then it would draw attention?
Can I do a history check on that?
Yeah.
29.
Similar to your armor, it's arcano-mechanical, so you don't actually know
Okay.
if that's magical enough. But it is definitely some magic.
And even then, if it does ping, it might ping here.
Or it could ping
Not
at the
where-
location that we show up at.
Possible. I don't know how that would
You
work.
can't rule it out.
Alright. So, let's see. Do we want to try some of the other doors, or do I want to try and break into this teleport room?
We should probably try the other doors.
Okay. Which ones? The smaller doors, or the... I say to you guys what the other rooms are. Cold storage, or a lab.
Cold storage? Storage sounds less intimidating. God knows what's in the lab.
Okay.
The lab isn't locked. The lab isn't swinging double doors. The cold storage is through the sturdy-looking locked insignia. So, the opposite of what you said. As far as security is concerned, they could still sound.
Okay, then let's go in the lab.
They could still sound scary in their own right, but as far as what's locked is.
Alright. Let's go to the lab doors.
Okay, so you walk over to the lab area, and the doors stick for a moment as you push them open, but then creak into the room beyond. In here is an array of utterly destroyed laboratory equipment. It's a huge laboratory, too. It probably goes on for a good 200 feet. With, just eyeballing it, there was dozens of technicians that worked in here at one time. You can look through here for stuff if you'd like. Other than that, you don't see corpses. You see the charred remains of a work area. There's clearly melted glass remnants, fabrics and paper, and it's dusty in here. Whatever was in here got just incinerated, probably by a security protocol at this point. You're pretty confident.
So whatever they were containing, they tried to burn it. Maybe it worked.
Maybe. Even if... Well... Whatever they were containing, if they didn't, it would have to still survive down here all that time.
Well, there was a hole in the back of that skull.
Yeah, could I guesstimate how old the body is? Like...
Yeah, what was your medicine check?
It was an 18.
Okay, go ahead and roll a medicine check too, and then you guys kind of corroborate.
19.
Based on the climate in here, it was very dry. Like, air just started circulating. It was basically a sealed tomb. Thousands.
Okay.
Possibly. It could be up to thousands. There's a certain... You'd have to take it back for analysis, but...
If it was a creature that, like, had to eat things, or, like, meat, or, I don't know if it would have enough food to live on. But we don't know how much it eats. If it does.
Let's hope they kill it. Killed it.
Again, the skull wasn't all the way bored through. So... You don't know if it was necessarily eaten. It definitely looks scraped and bored in. But your medicine checks was high enough. There weren't like gnaw marks on the rest of the bones. It was incinerated for sure. That was the only place you saw like any sign of something other than probably high temperature plasma, which if persists long enough can burn through regenerations like nothing. So
Okay. Let's try.
Once all the cells are gone, there's nothing to regenerate.
Go back and try and unlock the institute doors that are locked. Yeah. Cold stasis.
Unless you'd like to look around. I mean, it's a big place.
Are there any
I'll do
other
it.
bodies laying around?
No, it doesn't seem so. But you haven't really investigated. You just kind of walked in the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around and look and see.
Do you want to investigate?
Yeah.
You could both.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I'm just gonna keep listening for sounds and stuff.
That one.
12.
12. You look around. You do find a large charred metal box that seems to have remained closed. It's one of the only of its kind. Everything else was glass covered. You could see that there was cabinets and everything was visible.
Oh.
Probably because they wanted to be able to have quick access to whatever they were doing. You don't really know what they were doing, but there's a metal box.
I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay, so it has like a little latch on front, and it's like sealed shut from temperature, most likely. I mean, it's warped too.
Okay.
But yeah, you could try to pop it open.
Yeah. What do I have to do to try?
It probably had to be pried open. So.
Oh, do you want to try and jimmy this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Bring it over to one of the tables in the center area.
I'm gonna try to brute force open this.
All right, go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Ooh, nice. 24.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it's not a big box. It's about this big. And as you pop it open, you kind of wipe the top of it, and there's etched into it. So it wasn't like a sticker or anything. It doesn't seem to be burnt away. In broken language, it went through some shit. You get the gist that it's probably like an experimental item.
Okay.
And so she pops it open, and Elenia, you look inside and you see a small, like 6-inch by 6-inch piece of silver cloth.
I'm gonna grab it, pick it up.
Okay, so you grab it and pick it up like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, what does it do?
You don't know.
Do I recognize it at all, or is it...
You could scan it if you'd like.
Alright, yeah.
Make a investigation check with your...
26.
Okay, so you take it, and the professor, his eyes light up for a second. You can see him go, ooh. And he walks over, and there's just like an old chunk of what probably used to be like a glass mug or something. It's just like almost like a ball of slag. And you kind of pick it up, and you put it, and you wrap it in the napkin, and then everything disappears in your hand. It seems like anything wrapped, like once this wraps around something, it just turns invisible.
So
It's basically an invisibility napkin.
Okay. That's
invisibility
how does that
napkin.
even... Okay.
Yeah.
Napkin of
It seems
invisibility.
they were basically, it's a they use some sort of technology. You don't actually know what this is made out of, even after your scan. They were trying to improve stealth technology in the form of fabric, and this is just a small swatch of that.
If we ever need to hide a very small item, don't let me forget I have this. We'll have another hat situation. That'll be bad. Invisibility. Doing a good job. Anyway.
Okay. What else would you like to do?
keep looking around. I mean, is there any sign of, like, I don't know, paperworks or consoles or anything that might have writing or...
In the lab?
Yeah.
Definitely not paperwork. Everything in here was certainly
Scorched.
incinerated. The console, there's a console every so often in here that is just destroyed. Everything in here was under high temperature. It seems like this lab was the primary thing meant to be taken care of.
So they probably sealed it.
Seal it,
Whatever happened.
and probably at an even higher temperature for a more prolonged time than the annex. The annex is basically so you can recover it, probably,
Gotcha.
while still getting rid of anything that might be
Sure.
needing to be contained, because the lab is where that would probably happen.
All right.
I mean, 1,000 years.
Let's
don't
go
think
to the
anything's
cold
left.
stasis doors, and I'll try and pick it or use my thing to unlock it.
Okay, so yeah, there's the doors with the Institute insignias, and they do seem to be pretty heavily locked.
23.
Not anymore, though. As you... And you hear... And it seems that you've been able to open it. Are you going to push them open?
I'll go up to it and push it open.
Alright. So, Alenia, you give a push. They are pretty heavy fucking doors, though. I mean, these are solid metal. And while they are charred on the outside, they don't seem to have taken nearly as much damage as the rest of this. You pop it open, and there's a short hallway that's seemingly untouched by what was probably a carnage-like event at whatever point that happened. The floors are clean. It's more of a eggshell white than a gray, not singed. You notice as you walk past several circular metal rods set inside the left side door, and their female counterparts on the right side door, kind of like a bank vault. And then you see a very familiar looking chamber within that. And on the first of a set of glass doors, it says decontamination. Though incredibly dusty on the far side, you can see through the first of the two. Inside the chamber, between the glass doors, only big enough for one person at a time, almost like a stand-up shower in like a motorhome. It's your standard decontamination array, complete with sanitizing station, low acid spray, and drying apparatus. The console on the left-hand side blinks like the others, a soft green. Begin is the only option.
What is all of this?
It's a decontamination thing. It cleans you up if you get anything on you, I presume, or it gets
This
you
is the
clean
cold
to
storage,
go.
this is the vault, so usually you wouldn't want any contaminants
Yeah.
sitting for a long time.
What is
Clean you before you get in.
decontamination? Like, is it a shower? Did you
Kinda.
take a shower?
Probably chemicals and stuff in it, I'd imagine, to maybe,
Yeah, it, I'm gonna roll a history check to see how many times you've done this. It's definitely familiar to you.
17.
Okay. You've done it quite a few times. Basically, it does clean you. It also rids you of any dead skin cells. And it does use a combination of a basic film mixed with an acidic wash. It's kind of hard to explain unless you do it.
Do we have to, like... Can we leave our clothes on?
Oh yeah.
I'd imagine they'd want the clothes decontaminated as well. It would be designed for that, I'd think.
Okay.
We just gotta go through this to get in, I'd think.
Are you going?
I don't want to
Yeah.
go first.
Who wants to go first? Because I guess I can. I mean, is
You've
it
done
like
it before.
But like, is it a separate console that someone else has to like control and then other people go through?
When
or
you
is it a
press
thing you can-
when you press begin, the door opens up and then you walk in and then it automatically senses.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay. So you press begin, you enter the decontamination chamber and stand on the footprint-shaped markers on the floor. A moment passes, and the pressure in the room changes drastically. Your heartbeat pounds in your ears like the altitude just changed. Seems at this point, it's been a while, over a decade. The doors have vacuum sealed. If you wanted to get out, you couldn't at this point. You are then sprayed with a viscous solution of what seems to be like hand sanitizer and weapons-grade acid at the same time. You feel the familiar washing away of all your dead skin cells and the moisturizing nature of the clear fluid. It calms any burns the moment they begin. It's like being burned by a hot tub and then acclimating to it in an instant, but over and over several times each second.
Ugh.
So it's like... The spray stops, and the loud fan above you churns like a turbine, blowing hot and strong gusts into the room. You're dried in a matter of about 10 seconds, and then the sound stops. Another moment passes, and the doors leading to the next room, still covered on the other side with the thick brown dust, whir and click, but they don't seem to budge. They're stuck.
Oh no.
You hear the sound of clanging and a familiar pop and sizzle of a blown conductor. And then from behind you and above you, one of the nozzles about right here starts sending the viscous acid solution into the chamber, and it begins spilling its contents into the room. It's filling.
Oh no! Wait!
Slowly,
can
and you guys can see in.
Is this the
Can
button?
you
Is the button
can
still
you
green?
try to...
Like, can I click begin again?
No, it's yellow and it's saying running.
Ah!
Oh God!
Can
I,
you
Can I
fix
try
the
and?
It's like this viscous, like
I am useless here.
Purell.
I'm glad I,
I mean,
didn't
can I
go
try
in
and
first.
force it open with my wand or anything?
You can try.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check
I'm
as
really glad I didn't go in
it
there
sort of
first.
starts to
I'm
go
useless
up to
here.
your shins.
I have nothing.
How thick does that glass
Oh, good.
look?
Okay.
The glass is very thick, but you can try to do whatever you'd like to it.
21.
21. You and you see the and it sort of it spreads apart on the top a little bit, but the bottom is stuck, and so like there's like a slit.
Squeeze!
And it's slowly filling up. It's almost to your hips
Okay,
now.
I'm gonna start hitting the glass on the outside.
It seems the drain on the bottom that usually washes away is also clogged, and it's starting to spill back up. So there's like dirty sanitizer getting mixed back in with this old
I'm
sanitizer.
hitting with the back of Solarion.
Okay, go
trying
ahead
to
and
crack
roll
the
attacks
glass.
to it. It seems you succeeded, but you need to keep trying.
23.
23. And you're making small chips.
Ah! I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep
Keep going.
trying to hit the same spot at least.
Did you want to try to zoop it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
25.
Okay, and they finally open as it gets to about right here. The doors to the chamber fly open as the pressure from the fluid forces you out and into the room. I need you to roll a dex save.
We lose the professor today.
15.
15 is just enough. You see comically, because now it's open and there's not dust caking, you can see into the room, and comically he slides on his feet and whoa, but manages to stay up as you are pushed by the force of this on this sloppy, and you don't fall. You stay in there for a second and begin to wipe the mucus-like substance from your clothes and body. Still with that weird, almost hot sensation, but it's a solution meant to not hurt you, so unless you breathe it in, of course. As you do, you take stock of your surroundings. This room was apparently not safe from the cleansing the rest of the facility went through, as everything here is clearly charred. Notably, there is dust, but less than in the annex, at least. Also in here are a pair of small but secure-looking vaults set into the walls, one on either side of you, about 10 feet apart, and they're about 3x3 boxes just kind of in the walls. You've cracked saves like that before, so if you want to.
Sure.
In the middle of the wall, directly in front of you, is what you recognize as a deep cold stasis pod. It has a large brass handle, and there's gears on the front that are, as they click, it locks into place. This isn't shut, though. It is open. Typically, these things are used for medical subjects awaiting cure and were being tested for deep space travel. You weren't a big fan of them. Not only do they cause people to lose their shit sometimes when they do that and they're under stasis for so long, but why go into stasis when you could just, like, bend time itself? Not that you have more than once that you know of. You did send an orange back in time once, or maybe it disintegrated, but you can't really remember. You can't be expected to remember what Professor One did anyway. That's ridiculous. There does seem to be a piece of burgundy-colored fabric falling out the bottom of the chamber. Most of it looks charred from here, but the color sets it apart from what otherwise is a drab room.
Is the...
Icilius, are you in this room with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still stuck behind the glass,
His passive
right?
perception's super high. Is why I asked.
We're on the
Okay.
other side of the contamination.
Yeah, I was just going to say...
You guys
is
are
it-
on the other side. Well, I didn't know if he was in the room with those two. Because he... Yeah, okay.
Alright, I'm going to turn around and try and open the door for them.
Okay. Icilius, on the floor, under the console, like pushed up against the corner of the room, you find something. It's a small piece of paper?
Is there anything written on it?
Yeah, it's got something you don't recognize at all, but the top of it is burned a little bit. Like the process had been starting and then this made it into the room somehow. He hands you this. As you try to open the door for them, go ahead and roll for that.
I kept all of that shit.
Why does this look familiar?
26.
Because I have it right here.
26.
We did this dashing
It
thing.
pops open.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kept
Where
all
did
of
we
that
see
shit.
these before?
The other time, Keep, when I got hit by that mind flayer in the elevator.
Wait, so is this the top?
You said the top was burnt, right?
The top seems burnt.
I kept this shit.
So this might be the bottom of a note. Okay.
We definitely had a note that we
Time to
translated
decipher.
like that.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
he has them
I
in
have
his.
all of it.
Okay, he's
Wrote
got
all
it.
that shit down.
Oh my god. Okay, the curling is making this difficult.
Okay. Are you going to be in there doing that? Icilius, you look at that, and you see what looks like
By the way,
text,
This is what
but
it looks
it
like.
almost looks like chicken scratch. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It almost looks like
Forgot about this.
like tire treads or something.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Weird.
Well, they're looking for that. I'm gonna go up to the chamber and look at that burgundy
Okay.
Did we have like a
piece
key?
of cloth or whatever. it was.
You go and roll an investigation check.
20.
20. Okay. Pretty easily you see the long scrap of burgundy fabric. There's also a small, like, cobalt and gunmetal shaped artifact looking thing. Like, it maybe this big. In fact, it looks just like this. Here, you can have it.
Let me see that.
Oh, God.
I don't. Hold on, I'm looking for the first one.
Okay.
I have the key, by the way.
And it's got those carvings in it, and it glows a soft blue in your hand. And it vibrates just very, very softly. Also, underneath the burgundy, as you pull this sort of sheet apart, you find what you definitely think is a skull.
Oh God.
And it looks like this.
I know what that is.
Oh God. It's got a hole in the head too.
The rest of whatever this was made out of, like bones and cartilage, seems to have been blown away, but naturally,
no.
as you do,
I have the key.
they tried to protect their head first. Didn't work.
A certain way.
So whatever was coming in here was trying to get
Okay,
away
well,
from the decontamination, it seems, and didn't make it.
Squeaky. Did I
As
figure
you
out this
kind of
too?
hold that and look at the skull,
No, we said
the
top, right?
that blue
Yeah, because
D8
these pictures are at the top.
it vibrates in
Oh
your
my
hand
God.
and sort of tugs your arm a
There's
little
another
bit.
one. Those are
Like you find your arm drifting back behind you.
Is it going in a specific direction?
Yeah,
or-
it seems to. I mean, it's not strong. You can easily resist it, but it's sort of like a really weak. When you have really weak magnets that push
Sure.
against each other, it's sort of pushing you behind towards them.
I'm gonna
And
follow
back the way.
where it's.
Okay, so go ahead and
Gotta
roll me
be.
a perception check to kind of like feel this.
20.
Is he off doing this while we're just
20.
obsessing over this note?
I mean, he's like 20 feet away.
Okay.
You turn around, and you start walking down the hallway back towards them as they sort of do this, and it starts to really vibrate as you walk out the chamber. And then you sort of like move past Evelios and Elenia, and as you move past them, it weakens.
Professor, we found a note that's like, remember the was it the cavern with the illithid or something? Zillidat comes.
Yeah, I almost
remember
died
that? We found all those labels that were written in this language. It's the same thing, but on a different note.
Man, I can't tell which way this
And
is.
then you turn back to them, and
What is
Does it-
that in your hand?
I'm gonna
to him.
try and to him. Pull out that thing you think is Mistral, real quick.
Pull it out.
I'm gonna put it kind of close to it.
You put it close, and it goes. Ooh, ooh, and it glows just a soft blue.
What is that thing?
You don't know, but whatever it is, it detects that specifically.
Can I? Does it look like it would like? This is kind of the shape of the thing.
It
Does
doesn't look like it
would fit?
attaches or anything. no.
Okay.
That looks like almost a compass. Like it's giving you like compass feels. But
And-
but it's not. It's not pointing north. It pointed towards that. But as it that fades, you stop feeling the tug.
And I only feel it towards that. There's no other in any.
Now
other
you don't
direction.
feel it at all.
Okay.
It seems to have. Go and roll an intelligence check.
Checked it off of its list.
6.
You know,
Yeah.
you can
What-
infer things, but you can't get illuminated any more than
Let's
you've already.
try to like put something else next to it. Like Solarion, hold it out.
Nope.
What about your timepiece?
I'll try it. I don't think it's gonna do anything. They're related, because this is also in the cave. I mean, they gotta be...
So maybe they were looking for this artifact, and that was compass to it? So maybe that'll help us find the other pieces?
Perhaps. I'm not feeling anything else, though, so if it is around, it's
Not close enough. Okay, what is that? As I look at the skull.
I tander the skull.
Okay.
Is this what I think it is?
A skull? Yes.
No, I mean... It's front. It's got a bunch of little...
Has Randy been able to look at this?
This is what the skull looks like.
Okay.
I don't want to
That's
look at
weird.
it again. I don't want to see it again.
Velios is perturbed by that. Busy with his code breaking.
Which is weird that I'm the code breaker.
Well, I mean, you know, puzzles are puzzles.
Yeah.
Velios likes puzzles just fine.
Why does it have a hole in the top of its head?
Like right here?
Yeah.
Does it only have this
That
hole
looks
on this
natural.
side, or is it
Both
symmetrical?
sides.
Both sides? Okay.
You can roll a medicine check to try to...
Some sort of
Yeah.
Or a nature, depending on what kind of information you want.
ear hole of some sort.
Are you gonna do medicine?
I'm gonna do... wait, what do I have higher? Nature, that... nature's higher. I'm gonna do nature.
I'll do medicine.
I lost my...
Natural 20. Plus 7.
18.
27.
Which was your nature or...
Medicine.
Medicine. Okay, and you did nature?
Yeah.
Okay. Medicine-wise, yeah, those look like ear canals or something similar to...
Like birds?
a cross between birds and, like, frogs. Like an amphibious creature. And then the rest of this, you agree, is very similar to a bony structure of a cephalopod and probably...
Those are probably tentacle things.
they're probably tentacle holes.
Oh god. Why did they have an elephant down here? It makes sense with the writing. But...
I don't know.
Do you think this is what got out? That they had to kill?
The way... Professor obviously doesn't say this, but the way you describe it, you said, like, it looked like he was trying to get away from the...
From the cleansing.
Yeah. It
You
could-
can infer pretty much that, like, those are sealed pretty tight. You could be in stasis for quite some time and be protected from the... If you couldn't get to the teleporter or get out of the facility itself, that's your next best option unless you can get into one of those safes. But if you're in the safe, you're gonna probably asphyxiate.
Yeah, weird. I don't know.
Maybe we should look in the safes?
Yeah, I'm gonna try... There's two, one on the right and one on the left, you said?
Yep, and they're both about 3 by 3.
Alright, I'll try the one on the right first.
Okay.
23.
23 is enough. You kind of scoff at the craftsmanship of these shitty vaults. Like, you're keeping important stuff here. I shouldn't be able to go brrr and open it up. And you sort of... You continually hear sort of this, like, exacerbated, condescending, like, scoffs from the professor as he deals with Institute technology. Okay, you find a small, durable-looking satchel with a heavy buckle clip, and opens. It's got like a nice, comfortable, thick leather strap, and underneath that are papers. They seem to be patents, and this is a relative dimension satchel.
Is that just a bag of holding?
No. It's a bag of holding that can hold bags of holding. It's more secure and more durable.
That's
It's basically part of this infuriates you. You were at the forefront of relative dimensional space. The Hartnell is not solely your creation. You have borrowed technology in there as well, but you expanded on the science, and the fact that someone cashed in on this, and you got sent here where there's fucking horses that people ride around like animals. It burns you up a little bit.
Did you hear that?
Alright. I'm gonna take it out.
So you have the patent for that,
So this...
and you also have the...
Alright, I'm gonna take the patent for sure.
Okay, and you also have, I mean, literally, it's like double the size of a bag of holding.
And it can hold
It can
things
hold bags of holding.
without it
It can
fucking
hold other
killing.
temporal
Can
things.
it hold portable holes?
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
I'm gonna go out there and be like, hey guys, look, I found a bag of holding. And then I'm gonna take the briefcase.
Whoa! What are you doing?
I'm gonna do it!
Hey! Are you trying to kill us?
Yes!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm
No!
gonna drop it in the bag.
Are you gonna try to stop him?
Yes!
Are you too, Isilius?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot it out of his hand.
It's a bomb, you idiot! Don't
Wait,
do
what's
that!
happening?
He's trying to shoot
what
the
am I
portable
rolling to
hole
stop
out of
him?
his
Shoot the
hand.
portable hole out of his hand.
What am I... Yeah,
Bomb.
you'll rip it. What am I doing to grab it?
It'd be an acrobatics check to his dex save.
Fuck you for
16.
just like curling this shit up.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I'm using my dice to hold the edge.
16?
Roll off.
Roll off.
Fucking...
Slash dash.
Oh, fuck.
Dex save.
17.
Acrobatics. It's a good roll.
Ah, you win.
All right. So you managed to toss it in, and Elenia, your butthole puckers like nothing else. You pull up your gun, Isilius, and Avelios goes, "No." Go ahead and make me
Oh no.
Oh, God.
He's gonna make an acrobatics, and you're gonna make an acrobatics.
Oh,
Well, he's gonna make a dex save. I'm sorry.
What'd you get?
You're rolling
Dex
a
save for me.
yeah dex save. For you.
Terrible.
Fucking
6.
smash him. Yeah,
6?
fine, close.
Okay, he doesn't even get the shot off, so that's good.
Yeah, I got an 18, so...
Yeah? 18? Okay, so you exceeded him by more than 10. So he doesn't even get to have the shot go off, which is also a problem, possibly. So, yeah, you slap it away, and you're like, no! So
Can
no
you
one gets
guys
shot.
just fucking let me work?
No
Jesus
one gets
Christ.
shot.
Why didn't we blow up? Why didn't we blow up?
Avelios is sitting Indian style on the floor with the scroll, like going through the notes and trying to...
Why didn't we just get sucked into the astral plane?
Pranked.
What is that?
It's a bag of holding that you can put other bags of holding and portable holes in.
Uh-oh.
How?
Anyway, I'm gonna take the suitcase back out and dump the things back into the
Okay.
bag of
You
holding
should give
so
me
it's
that
like a
bag.
normal...
Yeah. It works like a normal
If you're
bag
gonna
of-
have the suitcase.
I give it to her. That prank only works once anyway.
Okay, so it's not a bag of holding, it's a relative dimensions satchel.
Okay,
Alright.
Relative dimension.
I need to get another sheet.
RDS is fine, for short, if you'd like. Or the satchel, doesn't matter.
The satchel.
Yeah, sounds like a really boring men's club.
Satchel.
The satchel.
The satch.
Yeah. The
Alright.
satch?
Don't use that nickname in a condescending way. That's a good
I
one.
don't like that.
Don't ruin it.
Alright.
Okay, I forgot you had a devil's tail on there, and I thought you had a wiener. Thought it was like a little wiener.
What?
Well, from my angle, it looked like the head of a wiener,
I get it.
a real long black one.
Alright, I want to try and open the other safe.
Okay, go ahead.
What's that thing that Ramsay does in Game of Thrones?
24.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. You open that one too. Institute. Get out of here. You find again another patented item.
Okay.
You could dent it.
They are kind of like how your glasses are. They do clip on. It's like a clip on glasses thing. So if you want to finagle that, so maybe they come from the bottom and these come from the top. It doesn't matter. But it does. I mean, immediately your brain starts going. How can I attach these to my already cool eyewear?
Oh yeah, you have glasses, don't you?
You read the patent over, and you start thinking about how cool this is.
Okay.
This is actually something that you're trying to hide your enthusiasm for because it's Institute, but it is pretty neat. These are glasses of hindsight. You have, if you use these, you have plus 10 perception to recall events that happened within 24 hours.
Plus, what, 10?
Yep.
Wow.
It basically lets you see back into your memories a little bit more clearly. It's a little bit of a time timey-wimey thing.
Okay. Cool.
They are pretty cool.
Are they attunement? Or are they
no,
like
they're
a
not.
device? They're
They're
a
a
device.
device.
Okay.
Just
Same with
decked
the satchel, just a device.
Cool.
And same with that,
The this
artifact-looking
thing? Yeah, wherever it went. Right
thing.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the armor? I never asked if that was attunement.
Nope. Just security armor.
What you got so far?
I don't want to talk about it yet.
Oh,
Is it
God.
terrifying?
Oh yeah, wait till I finish though, cause then we'll just do it all at once. I don't want to break this up.
Dramatic reveal?
Yeah.
So, as Avelios tries to break this code using scraps of past language, what do you want to do? Kazdan, Siko, and Ziwi are outside still.
We should go get them.
Should we? Are we sure we're...
Yeah, I think they're safer with us.
Okay.
You also haven't opened the teleportation chamber if you'd like to do that.
Let's go back and grab them real quick.
Okay, they're just sitting outside the door. You just pop the door open.
Hey guys, it's wild in here, so
They're all
you
sleeping.
should... Kazdan!
Yes. The two birds are lying on each shoulder.
That's cute.
I'm not into it.
Kazdan!
He sort of wakes them up and they're like,
Hey, sorry guys, just figured we would come get you because it seems all clear so far, so...
Siko and Ziwi get up without really saying anything. Siko nods at you and sort of smiles, but he's been beat.
Yeah.
Kazdan gets up. Oh, so you didn't die. That's excellent.
Why does that sound like sarcasm?
I always sound like that.
Okay.
Walks in, follows you. So what'd you find?
Oh, we found this bag of holding. Hey, Professor!
What happened in here? As he
That's
looks
a
around at like
lot.
ash covered.
Something apparently got out of this place like 1,000 years ago.
Oh God! Can I
Something
leave?
cool,
And
and
then-
I show him this.
Oh,
I
God.
hold up the skull.
Let me see if he thinks it's cool. He does think it's pretty cool. He goes,
Have you ever seen an illithid? Or heard of an illithid?
what?
They're like squid people. That
Didn't
do
we-
that. We fought 2 of them before.
And they like...
One of
they
them
fucked
got
off.
out.
Yeah, it fucked off to another dimension. Or...
It went to like the elemental plane of water or something.
Because it was on fire.
Yeah.
She set it on fire.
Oh,
It had mind controlled Avelios the entire time.
Between the bickering, we have a lot of fun.
oh. Something with this skull can control minds?
Yeah. Yeah. But there was also one in that cave whenever we went to get Avelios's ore for his... Anyway, we found like an ancient message too that he's currently deciphering. And...
Velios, how's it going?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, whatever, I guess it was this thing, when it got out, they tried to stop it by setting the whole place on fire.
It's okay, it's clear, I think.
But I think this is it, and it should be fine.
My
Oh,
head hurts.
also, you found a glowing box.
Yeah, I show him the thing.
I don't have... Okay. Do you
Oh.
guys do this all the time?
Yes.
It
This
never-
is exhausting.
This is
You're fucking not kidding.
this
I
is
don't
our
even-
everyday lives.
I don't even sleep most days. My house doesn't let me.
I'm a thief. I'm a con man. My whole life has been very much avoiding these types of things and making other people do them for me.
Well, I don't know how half of this stuff works.
This isn't all that different.
But I'm
You're just
so
along for
used
the
to
ride.
it now.
Also, we found a thing that will teleport us out of here. If we want to try it.
I don't know if we should do that.
I'm gonna get into the room anyway, at least.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh no. Kazdan might have to
I
try.
wanna
Oh no,
see!
it's a hack thing, isn't it? Fuck!
Oh!
Are you reading the message?
Oh no! The first like 4
Yeah.
words. It's...
Just let
Oh
me-
no!
Let me figure out what the rest of it says. It might not be that
Oh,
bad.
It might not be that bad.
I got an 11.
11? No, that's not.
Shit.
Okay.
I guess while he's still doing that, I'm gonna go.
You do have blasting caps.
I mean, does the door look like it would?
You don't know.
love
You've never used mining blasting caps on a
There's an E right
teleportation
there.
door.
That's an E.
That one?
Yeah.
You ever
Believe it or
I
not,
was trying to
You
go,
think
like,
that's a
word to
sentence
word,
anyone's
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
said
and it just
before?
kinda fell
Probably
apart.
not.
I'm a
Yeah.
pioneer.
I'm looking. There's another E at the end of
While
So
he's
that's
doing that,
the-
I guess I'll kind of
that's
look
the-
around. I'll look in the lab again, maybe investigate
Context
specifically
clues.
for like.
Well,
No,
I
because
haven't
there's no
looked at,
paper.
like,
It's
Yeah.
all burnt
so-
up, so there would be no
so if you find
filing
something
system
on
for
there-
which
I'm
to
trying
have a
figure out
code.
what that one is, because I don't have that one at all.
I thought we did have that one.
Oh wait, that's sorry. I do have it now. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up the
I didn't at
plastic
first, but I
caps.
do now.
Is Cecilius with you?
I don't know. Is he?
Do you want
It
him?
can be.
Because
All right, he's on board. Sure.
He really wanted to be in. Okay.
Okay.
So why don't you two make me some tinker rolls?
Oh god, I don't know what you two were doing, and I don't want to know. Are you guys blowing
20.
something up?
28.
What was yours?
20.
Woo!
This is
yeah.
gonna be a real good one.
You guys take some time as they're over there doing code nerd shit. You guys are over here about to do real science. You guys sort of take some instruments and sort of tap on different areas.
That's
You
gotta be
seem
an
to
O,
find
right?
what
Yeah,
you
that's an
feel
O.
are the perfect areas to put these 7 caps.
Okay.
Do it up, twist it. I mean, that hallway's long enough. And they're kind of down and away, and Kasdan
Light.
and everybody else is on the other side of the room.
No. That has another. Like,
You could probably get away with this right now if you wanted.
2 pranks in
What's
one day. I'm
something that
down.
ends after
I'm gonna.
TH?
Once we get far enough away.
So, Icilius, you sort of pull, you splice
No,
the
there's
wire
another-
in there, and you pull it, and you and Professor sort of share a smile, and you sort of like fist bump a little bit. Like, yeah, we're about to blow this shit up. And you sort of walk around, and you get around the corner, and you kind of look at
It's okay.
Elenia and Avelios, the two of you, and you see Icilius holding a silver wire, and the professor goes,
What the fuck?
What are you doing?
"Nope, too late."
Why are we blowing shit up?
That door lock was a little tricky. Sorry.
I'm
Should
not
be-
telling you what this says.
You walk around, and yeah, the door is open. The door is indeed open.
Don't get yourselves killed.
This is my kind of lock
I would
picking.
think it's an L, but I have that.
Hold on, can you move
No,
it so I can
is. No,
see
you're
it
right.
a little
You're right.
better?
You're right. You're right. Down
So,
L-I... Is it a
uh,
G?
here. I don't know. I don't have a G.
the doors buckle inward instead of what it seems to reveal. They would have slidden into the wall, it seems, but those are never going to do that again. They're gnarled and mangled, but it's pushed in.
We have this one, don't we?
Plenty of
That's an
space for the
H,
two of you to
right?
walk in. You want to walk in together?
I mean, just at a cursory
Yeah.
glance from the outside, does it? How big is the?
Oh, it's about 25 by 25. It's a teleportation room. You've been in
What
these
is this
before.
word? It's 3
Is
letters.
there?
It's got
I
an O
mean,
in the
I just don't
middle.
want to go in if it looks like there's a place that something could be hiding.
Not.
Oh no, it doesn't look like anything's
Okay.
hiding.
Well, that's how hiding works.
Yeah, you can. Would you like to roll a
Okay, so he's
perception
not
check?
there,
'Cause,
'cause
I mean,
those are
it's basically like
extra,
flat
yeah.
walls, and then
There is
the
no
Okay, I just wasn't sure if the
Yeah,
layout was
no, it's
fairly.
it doesn't have like a lot of
Straight.
hiding. There is a console
Slash.
that
And the smaller
like a
one, fucking
halfling
dashes.
could stand behind
Slash
if you'd like
dash
to look.
straight.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Okay,
At it.
so go ahead and roll a perception check just to kind of.
That's a Z.
That one. 100%.
I think
Oh
so.
God.
Z is straight dash
25?
dash slash.
25. You look around,
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's got
and you
two
think
at
you
the
see a
top.
foot.
Shit.
See, Z is
No,
a full
no,
bar,
no. That's just a
half
bracket. That's just
bar,
holding
half
the.
bar, slash.
Everything's
It's not
fine.
M,
Okay.
is it?
Yeah, you're a little
Because M
paranoid.
is- I'm
Yeah.
a straight.
That's
If I look at the
Either.
terminal, does it just have basically like operations for the
Is it an
teleporter? I assume.
Well, it's a little bit different. It
L
seems.
is slash.
Well,
dash,
during
slash,
during your time, the institute have been working on teleportation
Hold on.
chambers in general to put into newer scientific
I have
facilities
this one.
What is it?
as a means of both like transportation and
Hour.
like of delicate scientific
Hour.
like instruments that you wouldn't necessarily want to like
Blank.
travel long
Some of the
distances
art.
for long periods of time. But also
Near?
as a
Is
safety
that an
measure
N?
for evacuation in case of emergency. as is the concern of
Could be a
many
hack.
fields
No, we
the
do.
Institute
We do.
studied
There's an
We do.
N up here.
hypocritically,
It is
you
an
think to yourself.
Yeah.
It may have been destroyed. It
Teamwork
seems
makes
to
the
have been
dream.
destroyed
Wait, you know this one.
by something, as everything in
know
here
you know that
seems
We
melted
just
and
had
warped.
it. L?
So it seems pretty much like the station
Or is it
itself,
too short?
where the teleportation occurs, doesn't
Uh,
work,
It's a slash
Okay.
straight,
Um,
slash straight.
and the console
Y.
itself
It's a
is
Y.
also.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it seems like if you're going to contain something, don't let
Slash,
them
slash,
teleport
dash.
as well.
Or straight,
Teleport
straight,
and then
dash,
contain.
slash.
So. But you do know some stuff about these facilities, so you can go roll a history check with advantage.
Straight, straight, dash, slash.
Up here, D?
R. Straight, straight.
Oh,
21.
R, so
21, yeah.
Straight, straight.
You do remember though that the consoles
V?
often have
Is
data
that a V?
drives inside
I have
them.
it. Yes.
That allow you to more accurately pinpoint specific places while
It is very
teleporting.
near the hour.
It's more. It's kind of like It's like an assist,
Hold on,
like an
hold on.
auto aim in a
Wait, I
video
was
game
talking about
Okay.
that helps on
the
those
thing
teleportation
that's eating the
things.
stars.
So you can try to crack into
Is
the
that an
base of this
Yeah,
console,
it's an R.
pop the panel open, and try to extract.
This is an F.
See if it's a viable thing
For
anymore.
the...
Okay, I'll do that.
Need to figure
Okay.
this one
Sleight
out.
of hand.
Yeah, Icelius can help you with this because it's not a hacking
wait.
situation if you'd like.
Sure.
That's an R.
Sure.
Okay.
Bearer. Bearer. It's a B.
Yeah.
25 again.
The bearer.
Bearer of?
Oh. Bearer.
No.
What's that? I have that somewhere.
Out? Is it
I
a
see.
U?
What was yours?
25.
And what was
Hold
Icelius's?
on. That's an E.
Oh. I figured you'd just roll with advantage.
1.
12.
Okay.
That's an N, right?
Smart. Yep.
1, 2...
That is enough.
Dying?
You start to get into this
Gun.
console,
Are you sure that's
and
bearer?
There's lots of mangled stuff up front
It
where the
can't be
heat
bearer.
was hottest, I guess. But
Are we sure
inside,
that's
it starts to become less mangled, and there's wires
That
and
looks
stuff.
like an O.
And you
That is
see
an
this
O.
lightly flickering, still
That's
barely
an N.
powered, probably
And that
because
is
you
an E.
turned everything on by pressing end containment.
Yeah, that one right
Um,
there is...
Little flickering cylinder about this big with two prongs on the
Maybe we
outside
should start over on
of
that line.
each, and it's
Well,
clicked
this
in
is-
almost like a halogen light bulb. And you're about to
This
just
is right.
yank it out when you remember
It just.
these are pretty volatile
It doesn't
when
make sense.
powered.
Okay, we know
And
that's
so you
an
take
E.
the time to cut the wires to power
let's
it
go through the
down,
We know that's
then
an E
take it out,
right here.
avoiding probably a catastrophic explosion.
That's
It was a lot of D6s.
Oh, I know. The
Uh,
all slashes is an I.
Yeah, and so yeah, you have a
The
teleportation
INE
teleportation
is-
data drive.
This is an N.
N.
Yeah.
Dash. I have
And this is
one.
something I could essentially
Dash,
like
slash,
install on the
H.
Hartnell that would help.
Maybe
Okay.
it has a single
Maybe it's
use.
supposed to be chime, but
once it's
it's
once
a
it's
word.
part of the
Chime?
Hartnell, that'll be it, the nature of the Hartnell. So you could hold on to it, or you could put it into the
I just-
Hartnell.
Okay.
Is it-
Teleportation data. What
We
did
can
you
Google
say
this,
again?
right?
Sorry.
I
Data
don't know.
drive.
Are we allowed to Google a word on here if I don't know what
We
it
don't.
means?
It looks like a typo because we
'Cause it
solved
looks
it
like
like
a
3
typo.
times and we're not sure.
But I don't know if it's a real word or not.
Let me see.
That's the thing. Like, this is your discretion. Like, I don't know if it's a
No,
real
it
word.
autocorrects.
I know for a fact there are no typos.
Okay.
Okay, no, I know what it is.
Is it a real word?
It
I
is
just
a
want to
real
know if it's a
word.
real
It's
word.
a real word.
You
Okay.
might not have the correct word.
No, I do have the correct word. I just didn't. I've never heard this. I
It's a real
100%
word.
have the correct word.
It's a real word.
What word is it that you didn't know?
We'll get there.
Chime?
Chine.
Chine?
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
I don't know
it's
the
fine.
definition
I don't-
off the top of my head, but in context, I've heard it.
I don't know if you have the right word, but
We just solved it.
I know
Like
I know
3
for a fact
times.
there are no typos, based on how I do this.
Yeah, well, I am absolutely.
Okay, well, if I look it up, apparently it means backbone. So I don't know if... The lights.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're so fucking close.
No, I have
If
it.
you guys remember last time when you did this word,
Nope.
What?
Got it.
What?
I had the
What?
wrong
What?
one.
uh,
It's on a
the
CD.
characters are very similar to one another.
Oh.
Oh no!
Are you ready to read it?
Oh, I fixed. Oh god.
Read it. Hey guys, do you want to see the world-ending message that we just received?
Well, that's... I feel like you led with the... Okay, go ahead.
He has come to devour the lights cease to shine. It is very near the hour for the something one to dine.
It's like a poem about whatever's eating the stars.
That's foreboding.
And the Illithids know about it? Maybe? We gotta figure out what that word is.
It's just, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's bear.
The bearer one? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know how any of this works, so I'm gonna stay over here. That sounded horrifying.
It's just the end of the world.
It is horrible.
Why eating the star? Oh God!
I'm so sorry.
Oh God!
I'm so sorry, Caston.
Oh, no, I got this word wrong.
The second "Oh God"
I
was
fucked
from
it up.
Ziwi.
Sorry. Fixed it.
What is it?
The feared one.
Even
Even
worse!
worse than what I thought it was.
So wait, the Illithids are terrified of the thing that is eating the stars?
Yeah, I'm putting my retirement in.
One more time. What was it?
Now that it's fully complete.
Yep.
He has come to devour the lights.
He has come to devour, the light cease to shine. It is very near the hour for the feared one to dine.
Gaston doesn't like that at all.
I don't like that.
I'm impressed he had time to write poetry about his imminent demise before he got into that chamber. That was very nice of them.
Be impressed if I figured this shit out. What you want from me? I'm doing my part over here.
I have this for you in case I have the key. In case you ever misplace that, or yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
I should have given you a key for the other one when we did it before,
That's okay.
but it's kind of
I
fun.
made my own key.
It's
Well-
kind of fun.
Yeah, the thing is, we only had so many
I
letters.
didn't. Yeah, I have all the letters.
I know.
I probably still don't have all the letters, so it's
I
fine.
don't know. It's fun.
It is fun.
So that's there just in case. That's a secondary. Do not lose that though.
Didn't Toll tell us something about the Illithid? Like, I feel like...
I know we talked about this thing that's eating stuff, which is the whole reason.
By the
we
way,
gotta go.
your watch is reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like we're missing something here that we know about, but we forgot it. I feel it somewhere. I don't know why I feel like we're forgetting something relevant.
This postcard makes more sense now. Because my eyes are yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just...
Well.
Oh, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I don't get scared by a lot. Well,
Teleporter's also broken, so.
That's the least of my worries
I
now.
know. I'm just saying we gotta go back out into the
the
mine
shitty
full
shit?
of,
That's fine.
full of probably the dozens of soldiers now.
Yeah, well. I'm not worried about them anymore. That's fine.
I mean,
Probably long since moved past here.
we can still be horribly murdered before the stars are all.
Yeah, I'd rather be horrible murdered before I have to witness that.
I could go either way.
I think that's a fair assumption. Oh, right. There's 7 stars left, which means we need to hurry the fuck up.
8, counting your own.
8 stars left.
The one that heats the world.
Yeah, 8. That's fine. No, need that one.
That's 14% more time than we originally thought.
Yeah.
Wow, that was good head math. Good for you, man. Randy's a doctor.
Yep.
Ladies.
That's how he knows where to shoot to get the fetus in one go. You don't want to waste
Right
bullets.
in the knee.
Right in the knee.
All right, I
used
think.
to be pregnant.
I only have one encounter written down from the one of the Illithids, and he was called Alhoon.
Yeah, then we had Alhoon.
What
Wait
was
a minute.
We
Is
never
the feared one Zillidak?
Zillidak comes.
Zillidak, the feared one?
Is that...
That's terrifying.
We
Something.
found a
fucking
note.
name if
We
that's
found a
it.
note.
That's fucking terrifying.
We found a note in Alhoon's lab that said Zillideck comes.
Was it also in this writing?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, no. Yeah.
The name in the writing?
Yeah.
Zillideck.
In the thing you just...
No,
No.
no,
no,
I was
no.
like,
The
you say
very,
that
very
word at all.
first
Forever ago,
one.
when we
Right.
found Alhoon
Yeah.
underneath the drowned archives, and we were poking around, and there was like labels and
Yeah.
writing everywhere.
Zillideck comes. Great.
Oh,
At
God.
least we know what
Is
he
that
came
what they
for.
call it?
We don't know.
How do they know about this, but no one else knows
Because
about
they're
this?
fucking mind flayers. Aren't they like super smart or some shit?
How do they know about this?
You remember you had the vision of racing against the stars popping out, but you didn't, have that name for sure. Nor are you familiar necessarily with the Illithid, other
Okay.
than what your experiences with these people. So.
Okay. I think that's it in here.
so.
Are you ready to go and try and get through the cave without...
We could
Getting
see
murdered?
what's further on in the cave, I guess.
I mean, we're gonna have to.
We ain't got
And
no
try and
choice.
avoid the people that might be
Well-
in front of where we were now.
Well, now that they've swept ahead, maybe we could wait and see if they pass by again.
So there's no other places for us to go in here? I was kind of cracking a code, so I didn't really...
I don't think so.
No,
we
the
tried all
teleporter's
the doors.
broken.
The
There were no
teleporter's broken.
rooms in the or doors in the lab, were there, other than...
It was a pretty open space.
So really... We got that artifact thingy.
Yeah.
Do you want me to hold on to it?
If he holds onto it and holds it near the thing, he feels the vibration too. It's not just like an individual...
Not anymore. It seems it doesn't do it for you either right now.
Okay.
It seems to have. She used the phrase "checked it off its list." Like once it got close to it, it
It
pulsed.
registered that that's it.
It pulsed,
Gotcha.
and it went, ding, and
Yeah.
then
So if I hold both of them, it's just like I have both things. But they're not...
yeah, they don't seem
Okay.
to do anything. Any interaction that had with what you're holding is.
I guess I'll just hold on to it just in case.
Okay. It'll probably ding if we're near another part of Mistral or whatever. Okay.
Did it make a noise when it went off, or was it just...
It made like a really low tone,
Okay.
like a.
Let's hope that doesn't
Okay.
go off when we're trying to be sneaky or something.
Well, we could keep it in a bag of holding or something, and...
Yeah.
I'll hold on to that.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
So yeah, let's exit and then.
Let's see if... Well, we should listen to see if they passed back or not. Probably should have just left Kazdan to investigate, but he was sleeping, so...
Do you want Caston to go do that? He's up now. Does not want to sleep after he heard that horror poem.
I don't think anyone does.
He was given like an eldritch skull and then told
Hey, the end of the world is
very
coming,
disturbing news.
by the way.
He can investigate that for you if you'd like.
Yeah, you're super sneaky if you could, like, see...
Sort of gets up. All right.
I'll go with them.
Okay, he's gonna stealth first.
19.
23, no big deal. And then getting up close to it, he's just gonna get low to the ground and sort of pop his head through the illusion. Do you want to do that
I
too?
think, yeah.
Okay.
Is this vision or hearing?
If you'd like to hear instead of look, yeah.
Oh, look.
Okay.
Is he hearing?
He's doing both.
Is he
I
listening?
mean,
Is he
if you're doing
hearing?
sight, you're doing both technically,
Okay.
but you can focus more on the
Yeah.
hearing aspect if you don't. Investigation.
27.
17. There we
With
go.
perception. Oh,
Uh,
was it investigation or perception?
Investigation.
Oh, shit. Then I rolled. Let me
Just
roll
roll
it then. Well, 21, not 20. So
Okay, yeah. I mean, it could have been perception either way. Depends on what you want to do. So maybe you're looking further out than
Yeah.
he is, because he's kind of looking in the immediate
if
area.
I'm looking,
and you're just kind of scanning.
further out, then it'd be a 27.
Okay, we'll take the 27 for
Okay.
your further out. very near you, it doesn't seem like there's anyone, but further away, there are definitely footsteps around. You can't see anybody, but you can definitely hear them. The path winds around though, so, but definitely in that direction.
The way we were going, or the way
The way if you were to keep going, if you would have passed by this, yeah. And then the way back there was the 3 dozen or so soldiers anyway, so that's what you see.
All right, so we go back and tell them. Yeah. Maybe we just have to fight 6 soldiers.
Or maybe we just chill here and wait. I mean, if we could rest here, Ziwi and we're gonna be stuck.
So we want to rest in the... Yeah, sorry, I'm actually getting tired. Do you want to rest in the, facility in there?
It's kind of creepy, but...
It seems safe enough other than the creep factor.
Yeah.
And it's got the filter thing on it, so I don't think they're going to stumble in here.
That's what I'm saying. We could catch our breath here. That way Siko and Ziwi aren't, super...
Yeah. Going without a meal one night isn't going to, crush your dreams or anything.
I don't know. Super rich prince boy over here probably just never had to struggle. Never
I've
went
been
to
fucking
bed hungry.
privileged.
This entire
It's
fucking time.
You fucking privilege.
Ever since I left my house, I've been struggling. What do you want from me? Fuck.
God, he's basically just an American millennial.
God, he just can't have his avocado toast on time.
Basically, yeah.
I love
I can't
avocado
snap my
toast.
fingers in a food show. What don't you want from me?
One night without a meal is not gonna kill us.
Okay. 2 might.
Yeah.
No water. You are all very hungry and thirsty, but I mean you've expended yourself quite a bit, so.
Some sleep might actually make us feel a little better.
I guess we'll find out.
Sure.
Okay, so you guys want to rest here for a long rest period of time. You do so.
Let's have a hit dice right now.
So Siko's
Get 7 back.
Siko and Ziwi's health for this long rest are going to go up by. It's just going to double from their baseline. So Siko has 30 and Ziwi has 60 hit points. Ziwi's almost to his max hit points. He's not a big guy. Everybody else though, good to go. Everybody roll me a Constitution save. Oh no!
18.
Also 18.
Nat 20.
Over 10?
Yes.
Over 10?
18.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Nice. So if it's over 10, because you're not starving or anything, you don't get any level of exhaustion. The only person that does is Siko, who apparently has been without food for some time.
Figures.
But he doesn't seem to be whining that much. He's just starting to get run the fuck down. If you remember, I mean, he was poor when you met him. He's probably used to this just...
Taxing.
Yep. It's not like he uses ability checks anyway. Not that often, anyways. Unless you want to be stealthy as a group.
Can you guys see if the danger has passed at all?
Yeah. So basically, you sleep all night. It's relatively comfortable given, that it's safe. It's quiet. There's a nice low hum of the air system, and as you spend the night here, the air gets nicer and nicer, and actually is humidified a little bit, so it's not that dry cave air. You all sleep pretty well. No weird dreams. No walkabouts in the middle of the night. You go ahead and roll me a wisdom save.
18?
18, okay. You're restless to sleep at first. And then you coast into almost immediate deep sleep. Like, you don't have that weird waking moment beforehand. You don't toss and turn. It's restless and then in. And once you're in sleeping, you're back in that room with your dad. And he's telling you monster stories. And you're shooting that invisible bow at him.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a hearing perception check.
19.
Okay, so he begins talking about your people in their ancient state.
Mm-hmm.
And he spreads his wings out in his arms, and he describes to you, you know, we used to fly all the time, every day, in a place of nothing but clouds. And he sort of goes, whoosh, and you do it too. You're like just a little guy, maybe 6 months old, but you mature quickly, so you already have language and you're able to talk and be excited and play. There's a place here when you're emperor that I'll take you to before it's your time. And then it started. The memory starts to fade. Go and roll me another perception hearing check.
Oh, that's a lot. 23.
23, okay. And it's that sort of dream state where you're trying to really remain focused and try to press through. He describes to you your family crest, which is a set of owl wings, basically, disembodied. It doesn't have. There's like the royal crest of like the nest itself that has like the snow owls, and
Which
stuff like that.
is this one,
Which
right?
is that one.
Okay.
And then there's your family-specific crest. But it's more than that. It's also like your cultural crest. It's just a set of disembodied wings without... It doesn't have a snow owl. It doesn't have any type of Aarakocra. It's only about the flight itself. And it's very simple. He shows you this little U-shaped piece of metal. And he takes you by the hand and takes you downstairs. And that's where he used to do all of his paper work, basically. He would often have diplomats come, and they'd talk and have dinner upstairs, and you'd meet them. And then downstairs they would go, and sometimes you'd sit at the top of the stairs and try to hide and listen, and it was always boring, but you found it interesting anyway. Because he always had this like hearty laugh, and he was always like really able to talk to people, and that's a skill that you kind of still don't have, but kind of aspire to. He had that warmth about him. If snow owls could have beards, he would have had a big one. And so you just remember watching his shadow cast on a wall through this blue and orange flame and arcane light kind of mixing as he would gesticulate just as wildly as when he was telling you stories as when he's dealing with a diplomat. He takes you down there, which you're not allowed down there usually. It's a place of business, and he tries to keep the kid away from that, and tries to, you have your fun stuff, and then this gets serious, and but he takes you down because you want to see it sometimes, and he has that little thing. And behind his desk is a tapestry that shows all the birds in flight with the snow owls at the top. But they're all linked arm in arm all the way down. Even though it is a hierarchy, there's a sense of base equality there as well. He pushes it aside, and behind that is what looks like a doorway. And in it, there's a seal. And he takes the small little bit, like iron? Like soft iron emblem. And he shows you that it fits in. He doesn't put it in, but he shows you that it would fit in.
The crest?
Yeah, the crest. And he says, someday we'll walk through this door together. And then the memory starts to fade again. You need one more perception roll.
Hearing or vision?
Hearing.
Oh, God.
Come on.
You don't wear your goggles in a dream anyway.
Yeah, that's true. 14.
Okay, so you're gonna get snippets.
Okay.
You do hear him as he... Well, you more see him instead of hear him as he starts to... tickles you and then pretends to be a monster and chases you around the desk. And you kind of shoot your bow at him. And then he grabs a piece of wood off the desk and says, I have a present for you. And he hands you a piece of wood carved in an elongated U shape with little notches. And it's finished in silver. And he hands it to you. And he calls it Mistral. And it was a toy you had in your very early, like your first year of life. And you played with it all the time. It broke at some point. You don't even really remember when you were outside. It definitely broke at some point, just a little piece of wood. But that name, he always called it that. And you didn't know why. You just called it my bow. It didn't have a string on it or anything because he didn't want to give you something that could actually shoot an arrow. But yeah, he gave that to you. And you can't hear the words necessarily, but you can go ahead and roll one more perception check to kind of read
Don't fuck me.
his
Oh, it's cocked. Okay.
mouth a little bit. What was that? That one? That one. So you see him, he's about to talk to you, and he hands it to you, and then he says one day, and then the dream fades.
Oh no! God damn it, Alex.
The biggest fucking cock block. Fuck.
And I think that's where we're going to end for tonight, because I don't know if you're going to try to murder a bunch of soldiers.
And rolling up a bunch of stat sheets.
If that starts, then I don't know how long this goes.
Go out in a blaze of glory. Suicide by cop before horrible eldritch terror takes the world.
It was an 11 within that one, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, no. Just grasping.
I love the nest.
It's so much fun.
What the fuck? Why the fuck did the illithid know?
There's so much going on.
I'm
I'm
so curious why this
so-
thing, why that D8 looking device
Mm-hmm.
and the bow, what the fuck the connection is and why.
Dude, it's fucking
I think
weird,
there's
man.
some sort of legend about licking it. It's gotta be
Yeah.
like an ancient artifact legend.
Yeah.
And maybe they were looking for it and that was made to track it.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's my theory anyway. But that's just a theory.
Oh my god.
A D&D
Unsubscribe.
theory.
Unsubscribe.
We rolled a 5 today,
That's
so.
just a theory.
A game theory.
What? Game theory?
It's a YouTuber.
I know.
Okay.
I hate.
Sorry to all you Matt Pat fans out there.
I enjoy what you enjoy. I don't care. I just personally not a fan.
All right. Any passing remarks? Hey, Silius, you have armor now. Did you need the stats on that again, or are you good?
If you could send it to me, yeah.
All right. Let me just send it. I'm gonna do it right now, so I can remember to do this. Boop, boop, boop.
I took the bag off of Alenia for that art I was working on. Now I have to add another bag back on. The paint.
Yeah, it's just like a square. It's more rigid on the ends. It's very sturdy.
It's like one of those really nice leather satchels.
Where's Randy in my text history?
Just do it to the group.
Your group.
I say we're literally in a group app.
Yeah.
Just do new D&D chat. That's the...
You're right. I could do that, but consider this. I am stupid.
True.
Very true.
You guys don't have to really dig in that much. I think. There you go. Alright, that is sent to you. Okay, so no more game theories for you guys. You can talk about it. I like speculation. It's all fun.
These ones are the only ones that fit together. I know because I've fucked with all of them. That's super satisfying.
It is very satisfying.
Congrats to Alex for doing the word puzzle again.
I fucking love
I
that
helped.
shit. Do it all to me.
Yeah.
I helped. Okay.
I'm really glad you all didn't dig in on the word puzzle.
I blew up a door.
Yeah, you
While
guys were
we were-
blowing shit up all
Because it's
your...
really easy to sit here and wait for you to figure out a puzzle.
Yeah.
And then everybody watching is like, well,
Guess I'm gonna tune
Well,
out
that's
now.
fucking boring.
I was going to subscribe, but no longer. Hey, let's roll to see how this episode was. Natural 2. Well,
That
that's...
sums up the ending.
I believe it.
Someone said that they
Not
want to
enough
see...
dick jokes!
Someone said they want to see your hairline up close.
Oh, God. No, thank you.
Hugo's real life hairline
yeah,
up close?
Hugo, I
Why?
need to see your hairline
I'm
up
confused.
close.
Why?
There was no reason given.
Why? Hugo's hairline is normal, isn't it?
It's higher than I'd like it to be.
Maybe
Sure,
they're
but,
drawing
like,
you.
I guess, but I don't know. I've had a high hairline my whole life.
I have a 6 head, which is like a 4 head plus 2.
Hey, I have a really big forehead too. At least you kind of have
You do
bangs
not. You have a
covering it.
tiny skull in general.
I have a little head with a big forehead
I
for
really
the size
disagree
of the
with
head.
this. I disagree wholeheartedly about this.
What do you think of Sarah's head?
People
Let us
have their-
know in the
Yeah.
live chat.
People
People have their
ratio.
kids.
Yeah, if you can get one of those things that they used to measure
Caliper?
skulls.
Phrenology.
Yeah, phrenology shit. Let's do that and figure out,
Okay. Well,
check the various humors.
next Sunday will be a phrenology stream.
I have a phrenology head.
Oh no.
Now I want to bring it.
Oh no.
I have too many props already.
Master of props over
You have
here.
like a fucking
literally
pile
all the
of
props.
trash.
Can you guys
I
see?
don't ever use these.
Pull all
I
the
do-
props out real quick
Let's see.
before we
They
head
can
out.
kind
I
of
got
see.
keys to the Hartnell and other shit,
And
and
his
my
timepiece.
watch now. I got this ring that I decided he wears for some reason. I got Stickman. In fairness, this was prop you.
You gave
know.
us.
Ooh, the recorder.
Is this the recorder? I haven't really used this.
No, you
Yeah,
haven't
I
been
need
barking it up lately.
No.
Luckily, we haven't been getting into much violence.
Various.
I don't know what you guys are up
gears.
to next time. So. Gears. That makes a lot of sense. Used to have the flintlock.
I do. It's at my house. It's
Yeah.
with my Professor One. It's like on display with the.
Yeah,
one
I've
Professor
displayed all of my old Alenia stuff.
I like
The
it.
Lathander stuff.
Anyway, lots of intrigue tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming to watch. I appreciate you. I'm sorry if you didn't climax. We'll do better next time.
Yeah, right at the end, it just killed it. It's just like right, just like the edge.
Dead
Something-
Dad!
Something
no!
about dead dads and the impending doom of the universe is just
Not
not,
great,
good for
huh?
boners.
Not great. Well,
I did okay.
you did okay?
Can this episode be titled "Daddy Issues and Doomsday"? That's a good title.
Okay. All right.
I don't see how it's a daddy issue.
I mean, I have my IRL.
Yeah, I
so
mean, same, but like,
Death poetry. That's the title.
Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night. Who's slurping? Randy, you're due. Thank you.